Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi out here. It's Wednesday, and we're having a game tonight here at home in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena against the third Texas team. We're seeing them all in a row, except this one's not in Texas. The Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets, of course, have Fred VanVleet on them, but he got hurt in the summer, tore his ACL, and he is out for most of the season. So no Fred VanVleet tonight. So Ime Udoka and the Rockets have been experimenting with a big lineup where they average 6'10 across the lineup. Apparently, according to Josh Lewenberg, the only player on our team when Jakob out that's over 6'10 is Sandro Mamu. So we should be at a height disadvantage tonight. But you know what? Like somebody said in our Discord server last night, maybe we need to take that advantage and run on them. Like D'Antoni and the Suns. I think that was Stargate that said that. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of antidote for playing a bigger team and how you can beat a bigger team as a smaller team. And well, we're going to have to try and do it tonight. It's going to be really important that Darko organizes this team with a winning kind of strategy to try and take down the team that he's facing in front of him. This is what I need from you, coaching staff. I need you guys to show that you're doing scouts on the teams that we're playing and that you're coming to Rajakovic with information where he can formulate a game plan so that we can try and have a winning strategy. I don't want us to just show up to the game and say, hey, just play and just go at it. No, we should have organization before and direction as far as these are what you guys need to do as the starters. This is what y'all need to do as the bench and focus on this and do this. And it'll help us win the game against the Rockets because in some ways I feel like the last few games we haven't had direction in how this is how you win, guys. It's been really bad. So hopefully we can look better at home. They are having it kind of the Halloween game tonight. They'll be giving out Sour Patch Kid T-shirts that are Raptors Sour Patch Kid T-shirts. The first 5,000 people to come to the game, you'll get these shirts. So get there early and get to the arena so you can get a free T-shirt because they're limited supply. And I think they're also encouraging people to come to the game tonight dressed up for Halloween, which can be problematic in today's society, considering there's a lot of issues with different bullshit going on right now. So they sent out a message yesterday saying no costumes with masks, of course. They don't want you coming to the arena with any fake weapons, like a sword or a gun or anything like that. That kind of makes sense. Like a fake gun or a fake sword. Don't bring any of that shit down there. They also don't want you to, and this is their own words, quoting them, wear any political costumes or any other offensive costumes. That's funny. They say any other offensive costumes, saying that's intimating that political costumes are offensive. I'm sure they don't want you coming with no flags at any kind of countries in certain situations. Maybe there's a conflict somewhere. I'm sure they don't want you coming down with anything that has to do with the United States political bullshit right now either. So yeah, it's a weird night. It's going to be a little creepy a night. Houston Rockets, Halloween kind of night. Ooh, because we're not here on Halloween on Friday. We're in Cleveland to play the game on Friday for the in-season tournament. But first, we got to see who are the Rockets. Well, let's get into it. The latest lineup news for today's game. Jakob Poeltl is listed on the injury list for the Raptors. He's day-to-day. It's his back, and he's doubtful for today's game. I'm pretty sure he's not going to play today. Like we said in the last day or so, if he's ineffective, if he needs rest to fix his back, we'd rather him rest and take a game off than go out there and just kind of go through the motions and kind of be ineffective like he has been so far this season, really. I know our record without Yak is bad. It's like 14-50 or something like that. But still, we need him to get fully rested. It's better for him to go and take the time off now than take a long time off. I'd rather him sit for a game or two and then be hopefully back to normal. This is very troubling that his back is messed up. I mean, some people are saying like that dumb interview where they asked the Raptors, what is old? And somebody said, how old is Garrett Temple? Somebody said 70. Scotty said he thinks 70 is old. Different people said it was it's such a dumb question. Old is nothing. There's no such thing as age. It's just a made up construct in our society. And in some ways, it's utilized to be discriminatory towards people, whether it's discriminating towards young people because they don't know what they're doing, or old people because you think they can't do something. Either way, the concept of asking someone what is old is very juvenile, Raptors admin, just so you know, because age is just a construct. And it's really all bullshit, honestly. So when Jakob answered the question about what is old, he said 30 plus, and he just turned 30. So are you feeling old right now, Yak? Is that why? What's going on? You oh, my back. I'm old. I'm old. Don't feel old, man. Find that fountain of youth, Ponce de Leon, and get that shit drank so that you can get your fucking back revitalized. Because the Raptors need your ass 100% to get back out there. Seriously, man. Seriously. Nobody else listed on the injury list for the Raptors, so we're full go. Otherwise, the 905ers are with the 905. That is the two ways. So don't expect no Elijah, Chucky Martin, or AJ Lawson, because those guys are not with the team currently at this moment. So it's likely they'll start Sandro Mamu in the place of Jakob Poeltl. I hope they do. Some of y'all were calling for Scotty Barnes starting center with Colin Murray-Boyles in the starting lineup, just moved in there. I mean, they may do that. I could see Darko doing that, but I'd much prefer Sandro Mamu starting the game, more veteran, more size, because look, the lineup for the Rockets is crazy. And I'm going to tell you all about it in a second. So, yeah, I'm expecting the regular starters with Sandro tonight as our starting lineup. And Scotty's going to have to play big boy basketball tonight, no matter what. None of this outside shit. We need all hands on deck down low to rebound and play low post defense, Scott. So if you're going to freelance all over around the court, no, you need to concentrate down low because the Raptors are short on bigs and this other team is big on bigs. So we need you up there, Scott. And Jonathan, you better be ready to come in battle too, because we're going to need you. Battle also. I said in battle too. Well, Battle's going to have to come in battle too, probably. So the Rockets injury list is Fred VanVleet and Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith's been ruled out for the game today. It's the ankle is the problem. So who is the Rockets? Well, they've been starting this big lineup, and they may very well do it again tonight, although they switched it in the last game a little bit. They did bring in the guard Josh Okogie as a little guard in the lineup, and they took Steven Adams out of the starting lineup. That was in the last game against Brooklyn, the game they won. They're 1-2. The Rockets have not been totally smooth so far coming in the season, but the two losses they have were to extremely good teams, and they were close games. They barely lost to the Pistons, and they lost in a double overtime to the champs, the Thunder, to start the season. And then they did beat the lowly Brooklyn Nets. So they're 1-2, only played 3 games. We're 1-3. Amen Thompson is their starting point guard right now, which is ridiculous. Reed Shepherd has been a fail. He's not totally an NBA player, but he is having to play major minutes and be their backup point guard. So I say this, the Achilles heel of the Rockets may be when their second team comes in and we can pressurize Reed Shepherd and terrorize him. So be watching for that tonight. Hopefully Jamal Shed and Jacoby Walter and Ochai Agbaji can be really, really mean to Reed Shepherd tonight. Kevin Durant is playing shooting guard for this team. He's starting at shooting guard. Well, we got Big Slim Sleeper, Notorious BI3. He's a nice body cover for Kevin Durant. So I'd love to see some Ingram versus Durant tonight. I think that that's a natural matchup, and they have naturally matched up against each other many times over the years, I'm sure. Jabari Smith Jr. is a very big small forward. Alperen Sengun is really kind of the point guard, but he's slotted at power forward. And then Steven Adams, as I said. Now, they could flip out Steven Adams once again and use him as the backup big off the bench and put Josh Okogie in there again. Who knows? We'll have to see. That is the flip with their starting lineup. It's either going to be Adams or Okogie in the starting lineup with those other 4 guys. So, yeah, big lineup. Off the bench, Reed Shepherd, Tari Eason, Josh Okogie, Clint Capella. And really, they're playing those guys. That's their rotation. The Capella and Eason and Shepard off the bench with Adams or Okogie, depending on who comes off the bench. The other guys are not getting to play as much. Aaron Holiday, J.D. Davison, Jeff Green, the veteran. Kevon Harris is on this team, and Jayshawn Tate, longtime Rocket also. So they're running a tight rotation of about eight or nine guys, and it's mostly big. Like there's only two guys that are under 6'5", and that's Okogie and Shepard. The rest of the team that they're playing are all giant guys. So it's gonna be interesting. This is the thing. You can play a big lineup like this, but why have people been shying away from getting bigs more? Because in some ways the league sped up, and the small ball is something. In some ways, we got to go small ball to battle the big ball, and let's see which philosophy wins tonight. I don't know, because in some ways we're going to be forced to play small ball without Pirtle, and we're just going to have to see if we can find a winning strategy as a small ball team. We got to just run them the fuck off the court. Could we do this, Starco? Could we light a fire under the Raptors' asses so that they run up and down the court and tire the Rockets the hell out because they're so big? That seems like a key to the victory, to the win, to the keys to the advice of the win, to the victory. Seriously, that seems like something you could do with that. As far as just like run them off the fucking court because they're big plotting centers and power forwards. Run them off the fucking court. Run, run, run. Go, go, go. Just run, run, run. And if they're only running a 7 or 8 man rotation and we're running 12 guys, we need to run them the fuck off the court. But y'all need to make sure you make your shots, your free throws, your 3-pointers. Yeah. And if they're going to play big down low, you're going to have to shoot from outside or maybe mid-range more. And we'll have to see what happens there. Yeah. All right. Let's go look at the refs real quick for tonight's matchup. It's an interesting ref crew. Very interesting. We're getting a referee making his first ever NBA debut of refereeing ever. He's going to be making his first ever refereeing ever. Mark Davis is the crew chief. It's not him. Mark Davis owes us one still for like years. You know, it's an interesting thing. Mark Davis screws us over in Sacramento like 10 years ago. And ever since, he doesn't want to have the onus of that he's biased towards the Raptors. So in some ways, he's very fair in the games he refs for us. He can't do the normal totally asshole to us anymore because it will look like he's picking on the Raptors franchise. And he straight up jacked a win from us in Sacramento against the Kings 10 years ago. So he's cognizant of this, and he's very careful when he refs Raptors games. Let's just put it that way. Mark Davis, number 8 in his 28th season out of Chicago, Illinois. His favorite TV show is The Wire. He likes the movie Three Colors Pan-Africa. His favorite musician is John Coltrane. That's good stuff right there. Favorite book, Lonesome Dove. His favorite meal is pancakes. His favorite app is Cisco Anywhere Connect. You can tell he spends a lot of time in airports. He most like to visit Venice. His bucket list is to fly a helicopter along the Chicago River. Mark Davis has officiated 1,626 regular season games in 27 seasons as an NBA staff official. He has worked 218 playoff games, including 23 NBA Finals games. Yeah, Mark Davis is favoring the Rockets today. Yeah, he's in the yellow zone on my spreadsheet. We win 49% of our games, which is better than our team percentage for our franchise history, which is better than the 47 is 49%. But the Rockets win 51% under him. So 49 to 51 is the split for the Rockets with chief referee Mark Davis. The second ref is a friendly ref to the Raptors, Nick Booker, number 3 in his 16th season out of Orlando, Florida. He likes the show Game of Thrones and also Walking Dead. His favorite movie is Gladiator. His favorite musician, David Gray. He likes the book October Sky. He eats steak. His favorite app is Bands in Town. He'd most like to visit Rome. Well, maybe you and Mark Davis could make an Italian vacation. You can hit Venice and Rome. And then you guys could be referee buddies on a trip to Italy. His bucket list is to attend the Super Bowl. Okay, Nick Booker has officiated 874 regular season games and 18 playoff games in 15 seasons as an NBA staff official. He also refereed the Rising Stars competition during NBA All-Star 2014 in New Orleans. That's right. Nick Bookert is a very favorable ref to us, guys. He's in the top 10 best refs for the Raptors as far as record-wise. We win 58% of our games with Nick Bookert around, and the Rockets win 53%. So 58-53 for the Raptors with the second ref, Nick Bookert. The third ref is making his debut for the first time ever as an NBA ref. And guess what? I have his information even, but no stats on him. He has 0-0 for the Raptors and 0-0 for the Rockets. No games ever refed in the whole entire league. We're gonna get the honor of being his first ever game refereed as a staff official, non-staff official. Actually, he's not a full official. He's a non-staff. Klajamula is the ref. Klajamula, number 97, in his first season as a non-staff official, is from Albania. He likes the show Seinfeld. His favorite movie is The Godfather. His favorite musician, he loves yacht rock, y'all. He likes yacht rock. I wouldn't have guessed that from Klajamula. So he's rocking the Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers tip to taking it to the street, taking it to the streets. Oh. Michael McDonald, let's go. Yacht rock. His favorite book is The Great Gatsby. He likes Neapolitan pizza. His favorite app is YouTube. Maybe you watch me, Klajamula. I'm going to say welcome to the NBA as a non-staff official. We'll see how you do today. He'd most like to visit France. It seems like you would have been to France as a European man from Albania. Come on now. Bucket list, backpack through Europe. See, once again, bro, that's where you're from. Get the backpack and just go outside. And hidden talent is cooking. So he's a good cooking. Yeah, we like to cook here up in Toronto. And barbecue, hopefully, we'll be cooking tonight. That's right. Claudia. All right, they have it here. Klajamula. I say Klajamula. It's Klajamula. It says the pronunciation here. Klajamula. Klajamula, the fabulous Mula, is in his first season as a non-staff official. He is one of the 7 non-staff officials scheduled to work the NBA regular season games this season. So, yeah, Klajamula 0-0 is the split. No information. Kind of like Pat O'Connell in the last game, just 0-0. No bias there because it's like he hasn't refed yet. So there's your ref crew: Mark Davis, Nick Bookert, and Clyde Mula. Yeah, Clyde Mula is a referee G League, referee WNBA, I believe, also. So I've seen Clyde Mula also referee FIBA games. So there is experience there. It's just not in the NBA. So, yeah, there you go. There's your ref report. Mark Davis, like I said, he can't be screwing over the Raptors too overtly because we call him on what he did in Sacramento. That's right. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. We got the classic card. We got the Instagram stories. We got all the other fun stuff we do on the channel. We'll run through on this preview day for the Rockets game tonight. That's right, at home. Let's change the tide, Raptors. Let's get a win. And let's get the Raptors fan nation to shut up because they are talking out of their ass right now. There's a lot of crazy overreacting to a 3-game losing streak that the Raptors are on right now. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have such a low IQ fan nation that overreacts in such stupid ways so early in the season. Let these guys get started in their season. They got some things to work out, obviously. And it doesn't mean that it's totally broken or it's not going to work. It just needs to be adjusted. And maybe there is a move that needs to be made to make it work just a little bit better. But right now it's too early to call for that or look for that. We need to still take some more information from the games and watch them. You're a fan. Just watch them and root for them. See, maybe you're not winning because you're not rooting for them the right way because you're too judgmental and critical of them. Just love them unconditionally. Let them run the court and kick some ass, and maybe they'll run the Rockets off the court tired because they're so big and they are not fast enough to keep up with us. That's what I'm hoping. You got to use your strength in the matchup. And if you're the smaller person, you got to use speed. That's usually what it is. You got to use speed right there. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. We got Trevor J in first, Commissioner of Fun. Thank you for being the Commissioner of Fun on this channel. He's saying you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the end. Yeah, I mean, that's true. there's always a starting point of now and making a change today. If there's something you would like to do and you thought, well, I should have done this a long time ago. Well, it's the next best time to do it is right the fuck now. So do it now. Seriously, don't ever regret that you didn't do something 15, 20 years ago. If you can do it now, go ahead and do it now. That's what I say. Thank you for the words of wisdom, Trevor J. Blessings to the Jones family, all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Happy game day. Let's win. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. We're not saying win enough with Masai gone. We need to say it more. I love you, Masai Ujiri. Masai Ujiri forever. Your mark on our franchise is forever, Masai. And we will never forget. Fuck you, Ed Rogers III. Fuck you, at Keith Pelly. Yes, we will never, ever forget the great Masai and what he did for the Toronto Raptors. And it continues to be a good thing. So I'm going to say win, 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 win in honor of Masai. We're going to say it a couple times here. That's right. Blue Jays tightened up the series. Tied up the series. 2-2. Yeah. Yeah. Ohtani, what? Milbester? Get the fuck out of here with this Ohtani crap. Ohtani, what? And the man's not a perfect baseball player. He's going to get knocked up real quick by a bat. In some ways, maybe he's a better hitter than he is a pitcher. Because in some ways, well, the Blue Jays got to him last night. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And they tied up the series. And Blue Jays fans, once again, this is another example of fans overreacting to one game. I know that game was long and y'all had to stay up late and you got grouchy and maybe you're a little overtired. But man, the way y'all overreacted to fucking losing an 18-inning game was so stupid to me. It's like, okay, all right, you lost another game. Why are y'all all acting like it's the end of the world? Why are y'all acting like y'all lost the World Series? You haven't lost the World Series. You haven't lost the World Series, Blue Jays fans. So why are you fucking so down in the dumps? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Do you not understand baseball? Y'all are baseball fans. You should understand this. Oh, no, because it was two times the game. It's a double loss, Lex. No, it's not. That's one loss on Monday night. That don't count for two losses just because they put in 18 innings of effort. That's not how this works. They still have to lose two more times to lose the World Series, Blue Jays fans, and they don't have to lose two more times. They could win two more times instead. So stop acting out, Toronto sports fans, with your overreactions and negative ways. Oh, my God, y'all are such Debbie Downers with your bullshit. The way y'all acted before the game yesterday and how it went, would have seemed like the Blue Jays had already lost the World Series. Like, seriously, Toronto fan, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Stop being so pessimistic. Stop being so judgmental. Stop being so chicken little. Stop being so, oh, my God, now we're going to lose. Fuck that shit. That's Leaf energy. We don't have that in Raptors energy. We don't have that in Blue Jays energy this year because we're going to World Series. Y'all didn't get put out in the first round, so stop acting like Leaf Nation. Seriously, believe. Believe. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted to win another World Series just like you. I'm going to win another World Series because Toronto's going to win it, baby. Woohoo! Let's make the most of a beautiful day. Let's win a second game in LA. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be World Series champions? Woo! Get your head out of the gutter, Blue Jays fans. Y'all won last night, but you act like your dog died. It's not Friday, is it? I'm freaking out on Blue Jays fans for not believing in their team. Come on, y'all. Believe in your team. Stop having that Leaf Nation energy. Oh, no, we lost 18 games. No, y'all won last night. You got the bats going, and you got Ohtani touched. So, yeah, be proud, Blue Jays Nation. Stop getting in the dumps. And this energy don't need to be around Raptors either. So what if we're 1-3? The season just fucking started. Get over yourself and let us work it out with Coach Darko. Seriously, the pessimism in Toronto sports world is still around, obviously, because people will get, oh, no, they lost. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and my blood sugar's low and I should have went to sleep 4 hours ago. Oh, the world is ending. Why the fuck are you thinking about all this at 2 o'clock? Go to bed. Go the fuck to bed. And make sure you maybe eat a snack before you go to bed because your blood sugar's low and you're acting like a fool. freaking out about the Blue Jays. I should have told them. I said, I didn't want to get all, just in case they did lose last night. I didn't want to come at them like this because I was already like, why the fuck are the Blue Jays fans acting like they lost the World Series already? Why the fuck are they acting like this? Like, this is casual, immature, like overreacting like they're dumbasses. Like, come on, real baseball purists understand this is a 7-game series. You got to win 4 to win. Seriously, what the fuck is this? I'm sure some of y'all appreciated that rant. Seriously. Trevor's saying this. We need to bring it with defense and play Raptors basketball. Yes. This may be the most important thing the Raptors need to do next is get their identity back. I'm so sick of them not having their identity. Their identity, we know what our identity is. We saw it at Summer League. We saw it in preseason. We saw it in the first game of the season. But we lost it since Milwaukee. So where's our identity, Darko? Can you tell these guys who the fuck they are again and tell them to go out and do what they're supposed to do? Seriously. Get your identity back, Raptors. Your identity is you piss people off and annoy the hell out of the other team because you're just annoying as fuck. So come on, Shed. Come on, Grady. Come on, Jacoby. Come on, Scotty. Get out there and annoy the hell out of the other team. That's your identity. You got Steve Urkel their ass. Did I do that? You know, you got to be really a fucking annoying, like, neighbor who's coming in. Why is Urkel in my house again? Get him out of here. Get Steve Urkel out of my house. Did I do that? You do that, Shed. You do that. You do that. Please do it. Because that's your identity, and I want to see it again. Come on now. How did I work Urkel into that? That's crazy. Raptors Champs is saying this. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Raptors Champs. See, that's the kind of attitude I want. That's right. His name has got it built in there. Raptors Champs. Blue Jays Champs. Champion mentalities. Let's go, Toronto. Have a championship mentality like Vlad Guerrero Jr., guys. In your own life, just like Raptors Champs. That's right. Raptors Champs. Champs. Nah, none of this other stuff. It's champs. That's right. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex from Raptor Freak Crew. That's right. Good morning, Kaz. He is a champ. He is a Raptors Freak champ. Kaz, he understands champs. That's right. That's right. Raptors Champs is saying Yak needs weeks off. Back pains is not a joke. It could become an ongoing issue. I mean, we don't need that. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't need nagging injuries. We need nothing of that. Go get a new mattress. Can you get like an eggshell mattress or what is some sort of memory foam? Can you get something like this, please? Can we get a massage therapist, a very nice young woman? Maybe she's very enticing, and maybe she can help him feel better by massaging him most of the day. Like, that's why I want Yacht to be treated like an emperor of Rome or something like that. Fan him. Bring the grapes. Let him lay there and just, oh, thank you. Put the grapes in my mouth. Rub my back. You know, that's what we need for him, Dr. McKechnie. Give him an old school style, just like laze him. Let him laze and rub his body as much as possible. Get his back fixed. Get him feeling like $1 billion. Seriously, that's what we need, man. Let that man laze. Let that man get 5 massages a day. Something like that, man. I totally agree with this. Seymour's here. Good to see the sheriff of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Seymour Pape. That's right. What pop gang? Raptors freaks and freakettes. Hope all is well. Yeah, Bucks beat the Knicks. There you go. There you go. This is interesting. The start of the Bucks is interesting. You know, Giannis is on a mission. We saw it ourselves on Friday. He is on a mission. A 30-20 game against us. In some ways, his supporting cast is just not as good. Bucks fans coming in and laughing at me in the comments saying, you thought Brook Lopez was important to our team? You obviously haven't been watching us. I still think he's important to your team because he's a very good defender. And in some ways, y'all have been crazy with how y'all turned over your team. Honestly, Kevin Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma. This guy, it was funny. His comment was like, the Bucks have more than 5 good players. And then he named like Gary Trent Jr., Cole Anthony, and Kevin Porter. I was like, what the fuck? You can't count those guys as good players. Seriously, just because Cole Anthony got all big and bad against us off the bench on Friday, don't mean that man's a steady player. Come on now, Bucks fan. You're kidding yourself if you're not thinking that you're a one-man show this year. And how much can Giannis carry all the whole year. Seriously, out the gate, he's doing it, and it's working right now. But the wheels will fall off at some point. Even the ESPN has an article on this morning. Big questions about the beginning of the season so far. How long can Giannis completely carry the Bucks is one of the sections. So it's like I'm not just the only person who sees this. This is not sustainable. We've seen in the history of the NBA a top player that has to carry their team every night. That's not a winning formula. You need diversity and you need different things going on for your team. But this is a great win, beating the Knicks last night. This is a huge win. In fact, let's go look at the Instagram stories because there's a little bit on there. First of all, we got Savannah Hamilton, who's reporting that Upshot League will be starting next year. It is designed to be the G League for the WNBA, and it will be officially tip off in May 2026. So this is interesting. You know, there's been a real problem with there's a lot of good women's basketball players that are not finding spots in the WNBA because it's a limited size league. So there's a lot of players that could play in the WNBA, but they find themselves on the outside. And that's part of the reason why they're expanding so quickly with new teams is because there's definitely the talent out there to fill the league with new teams coming in like us in Portland. So there's going to be even more of a pool for WNBA desirable players that want to get to that level. Well, they'll have an intermediary level that they can go to called the Upshot League. And that will be starting in May of next year. So very, very interesting stuff there. Also, it's they're reporting this, that WNBA PA Council, the Players Association, says the CBA agreement will not meet October 31st deadline. So the there's a hang up in the labor negotiations in the WNBA, and it's not going to get done on time, is what they're saying right now. Slim Duck has got this going on with himself. He said how he used to argue with people years ago is Leonardo yelling and being mad. And then now it's just him sitting back and just letting them talk and not listening to them. It's basically what Slim Duck is saying. Norman Powell is enjoying the Heat culture, and they've had some success so far this season. A little bit of success so far. But, yeah, Norman does really look right in a Heat jersey. I hate to say it. This is what's going on with Gary Trent Jr., and this is about the Knicks game last night. First of all, he's celebrating Ryan Rollins, his young teammate, who was absolutely really good for them against us on Friday. And there's the Giannis' stat line against the Knicks in the win last night. 37 points for Giannis, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, and 73% shooting from the field. So, yeah, he just tore up the Knicks. How do we feel about how he tore us up on Friday? Realize the Raptors have ran into 3 very difficult talents in the last 3 games. Giannis, AD, and Wemby. This is not an easy league. These are very top-tier players. And Giannis is the best player in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to say that right now. The very best player in the NBA's Eastern Conference is Giannis Antetokounmpo. It is 121-111, 10-point win for the Bucks over the Knicks last night. Take that, OG. Ha-ha, ha-ha. Coco Wade is showing a picture of him talking to Sandro Mamu on the sideline. That's a cool picture. There's James Wade with him. Let's see what else we got in these Instagram stories. There's Coach Andrew Jones taking a picture at Raptors 905 Media Day. It was good to see all the guys there. AJ Lawson, Chucky, Elijah, Quincy Guerrier, Tyreek Key. Yeah, all those guys. There's Patrick McCaw. Holy shit, he did show up for 905 Media Day. Patrick McCaw was there, guys. So cool. Pat McCaw is going to be in the fold with the Raptors 905 this year. That's cool. Lindsey Dunn out in L.A., at the World Series. Long time no see. Yeah, you just saw it yesterday, last night. What are you talking about long time no see? You were just there like 6 hours ago because the game ended at 2 a.m. Well, it's the 3rd day in a row. That's right. They're playing again in L.A. So Blue Jays fans, let's go. Let's go. Let's get this pivotal Game 5 and come back to Toronto and win it in front of the home crowd. That's what I want to see tonight. That's right. Win it today. And then go back to Toronto and win it the next game, and boom goes the dynamite. Toronto Blue Jays, 3-time World Series champions, 3 appearances, 3 championships. That's what I want to see. That's right. That's what I want to see. Matt Devlin is posting an RJ dunk from the Spurs game the other day. It was a nice dunk. It was a nice little left-handed jam right in the transition. Colin Murray Bowles putting Jamal Shedd on blast with his cowboy fit coming into the game with his little tie like a rancher wears. Jacoby Walters showing the friendship between him and Jonathan and Jamal Shed on his Instagram. Jonathan's also posting Jamal Shed with his Western fit, his Texas fit. Pascal is a little bit into it now. You know, the Pacers have not started well. They have not won a game yet this season, actually. And Siakam's saying, I've learned that sometimes the best way to understand a place is to walk through it. There you go. There you go, Siakam. You're a badass. We love you, Grote. And just keep being Siakam, even if your team's not exactly good this year. Serge Ibaka. Where in the world is Serge Ibaka? I was asking that. Well, he answered me. He's at the University of Miami once again, working out at the place where the Hurricanes are. Mamu has reposted his San Antonio Spurs celebration video that they posted. Is very nice. The love for Sandro Mamu from Spurs Nation in the crowd and that night and the team, his old teammates, it was nice to see. I'm not hating on that. I can't hate on them celebrating a fan favorite coming back and, giving him his just desserts, because in some ways that's a beautiful thing. They're recognizing that Sandro was an important part of their history. And, well, we want to make Sandro an important part of the Raptors history too now, So, yeah, I'm not upset. There's even Flavor Flav's in the clip. There's a funny part where Flavor Flav is standing with Sandro saying something. It's crazy. 905, there's Quincy. There's Quincy Guerrier, Montreal Alliance of the CEBL. There you go. There's Julian Reese, the brother of Angel Reese, at our media day yesterday for 905 Mississauga. There's Jarkel Joyner talking on the little mic, ready to be here. There's Chucky, who kept screwing up what he was trying to say. And he said, I got to do this over again. I forgot to say 905. Chucky Hepburn, AJ Lawson, and Elijah was there too. He's in the background. Let's see who else we got. There's Elijah Martin picture. And there's Coach Jones right there. All right, it's getting spooky. Woo! At the Scotiabank Arena tonight, there's Jamal Shed wearing his dodgeball Halloween outfit. And this is a funny part right here. Apparently, Sandro was beating everybody dressed up as Harry Potter. And then Brandon comes over as Michael Myers. And he takes the mic from Shed. And he says something goofy, like in a high-pitched voice. And Shed's like, get away from me, for something like talking all crazy like that. And then he said, you trying to drink through your mask? Like, what are you doing? Like, he's trying to drink his drink through the mask, the Michael Myers mask. And then at some point, Shed said, baby, get away from me with this crap. Seriously, you're going to piss me off, is what he said. It's kind of funny. It's like Brandon's like dressed with the Michael Myers outfit, and he's being goofy as hell, man. Brandon Ingram's funny, man. On the down low, I can tell he's funny as shit. So, yeah, that Halloween party looked like a lot of fun. So they're doing the Halloween stuff right now. Some guys dressing up like Michael Jackson for the game tonight. Yeah, it's cool. There's the coming in costume rules, guys. Once again, do not bring any real or replica weapons, okay? Please don't. Real ones, yeah, especially. Masks and face coverings are not permitted during fan screening process. So we wanted you to wear masks a couple years ago, but you better damn for sure not wear a mask tonight, And then political and other offensive costumes are not permitted. Show us what you got. Maybe you don't want to show them anything because you don't want to not be able to come into the game because your costume is rejected. So I don't know. If I was going to the game like I was supposed to tonight, I would not be dressing up for it. Y'all can have fun with stuff like that, but I will not be dressing up going to a Halloween game. If I was going, I'm not going anymore, though. Scotty wore a really cool orange suit the other day, and they got a picture of him like dressed up. I actually was like, man, Scotty's coming for business because he actually wore a suit like Garrett the other day coming in the game. I was like, wow, Scotty's wearing a suit. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Raptors have got all kinds of stuff going on their social media. Let's see. We're watching Melissa this morning as far as the storm coming through the islands and worried for Jamaica. And yeah, the path of the storm, the winds are like 250 miles per hour as reported by Trevor J. Yeah, we're praying for the people of Jamaica and all the island nations around that area. Haiti, Cuba got hit too. We got to just pray for everybody in the path of this hurricane storm. Climate change is real, y'all. The frequency and ferocity of natural disasters is increasing. And if you don't think that's true, you're crazy because the scientists have the data and they can prove it to you with data and facts. And in your theology or your thinking of, oh, this is just how it is because it's cyclical. And I was like, you're bullshit. You're bullshit. The temperatures are rising, and we have more and more natural disasters happening. There's more famine, and there's more heat, drought going on in other places in the world that you don't know about, that you should know about, like Australia. Australia's having serious heat waves and serious heat increases that are very scary for, the future. Let's just put it that way. The Vancouver Bandits have won the Community Champion Award in the CBL. They're giving out those awards right now. And there's Shed with a highlight from the game the other day. It was a little pass off to Colin Murray Boyles. We're going to have to see Colin do some good stuff tonight. All right, let's go Raptors. There's your Instagram stories for today. Let's go Blue Jays. That's right. Let's go Blue Jays. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good to see Shaq Lindsay. Thank you for supporting the channel. Scotty at center. No way. Who's going to guard KD? I would only start Scotty at center if CB is starting. If CB is starting. If Colin's starting. That might be the look, though. I mean, look, this is where I think they should do. I think they should start Sandro, and he should either be on Steven Adams or Jabari. And then they should put Scott on Alperen. They should put Scott on Sengun and really try and deny him. Brandon should be on Kevin Durant. And then we can figure out RJ and Emmanuel on the other guys. I guess Amin Thompson might get RJ. And then we'll have to figure out maybe they play Okogie and IQ gets to play him. What if they go a big lineup and they take IQ out of the starting lineup tonight? And they go a big lineup with Scott running point, and Colin Murray Boyles gets in the lineup that way. And all of a sudden, he's helping to guard Sengun in that situation. That's another way they could do it. They could put Scott at point guard and run it that way. It's really kind of flexible in that kind of way. I mean, we could have a somewhat big lineup if we take IQ out and switch it around that way. It could be very interesting, man. Very, very interesting. I don't know. Which one would you guys prefer? I'm going to put a poll up right now, guys. We do this sometimes. Scotty at 1 or 5? Those are the only answers. 1 or 5. 1 or 5. Start the poll. Which would you prefer? Scotty at 1 or 5 tonight? Let's see what y'all say. If you had to choose one or the other, which one would you rather Scott do for the game tonight? Yeah. Interesting stuff. All right, let's keep going in the chat. Let's see. We got lots of comments. I see y'all filled it up. I love to see that. Let's see. Seymour saying, just don't lay down and die, please. Play with the fight, Raptors. I feel like the only game they kind of did that in was Dallas because there was garbage time. Even in the last game, they kind of fought at the end, but they did bring in the bench guys. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends on what your definition of lay down and fight is. And we could look at each game and how they went down. Like the Mavs game, we were tied with them at halftime, and it was really we fell apart in the third. In the game with the Spurs, we fell apart right away, and we gave up a huge 41-point quarter to the Spurs in the first quarter. So, in some ways, it's like, can we keep the wheels on the wagon for the whole 48 minutes and win? That's part of it. In some ways, the Raptors have to show that they can give a good effort for the whole 4 quarters. And we got to see that. I don't know. I like what you're saying because it does seem like some of the fight that the Raptors have with like trying to come back from being behind is not there with them right now. The gumption is not there. The will or the ability to come back and try and snatch games at the end of the game is not there right now. Because we're kind of sitting on 10-game deficits, 10-point deficits near the end of the game, and we're not eating them up and getting closer. So that's part of our identity I want to see again, Seymour, for sure. Fiercey's here. Good morning, MJ. Good morning, fam, and happy game day. I'm not worried about the big Rockets lineup. Only Sengun is effective. Adams is not bad on rebounding, but that's it. I really want the Raptors to rededicate themselves to rebounding after getting beat 44-20 on the rebound battle against the Spurs. Sure, it's Wemby, but still, come on now, you guys. You got to box out better. You got to track the ball better and go get it. You have to have the gumption and the drive, the want to go and track the ball down and get to it before the other team gets to it. And we're allowing way too many offensive rebounds so far this season. We got to stop the offensive rebounds happening from the other team. We need to take care of the defensive possession. And defense isn't just guarding the guys. It is also rebounding and getting that ball on your possession so the defensive possession ends. You close the defensive possession by getting the rebound. The rebound may be the most important part of the defensive stand. So don't miss out on the most important part. Getting the rebound. Get the defensive rebound, Scotty, and the Raptors. Get that fucking rebound. Seriously, I'm sick of this shit. And in some ways, we're not destined to out-rebound this team tonight. But could we? Could we surprisingly have we're going to outwork them and just get to it better so that we out-rebound the Rockets tonight? That may be a key stat to look at tonight. If the Raptors can out-rebound the bigger Rockets, well, that's a good sign for winning. That's a good sign for winning. Come on now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Fiercely saying Okogie is trash. Well, okay. Thompson and Smith are decent, but foul prone. They're young. They're young. We know Thompson's a reckless player. Jabari Smith is still somewhat a young player. Well, we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully, like I said, Coach Rajakovic and his staff have a solid plan for the game tonight. In some ways, I don't know what they should do exactly. I could formulate different ideas. I think that running them off the court is a number one, out-rebounding them if they can. Just really irritating the bigger ball handlers and trying to make them cough it up. I mean, the Rockets did get a certain amount of turnovers in some of the losses this year already. They didn't have very many turnovers against the Nets, but it's the Nets. But they did have a lot of turnovers against the Thunder. And we know how the Thunder play. And the Thunder got them to turn over the ball more than they actually assisted. So that's a good sign to try and win. Let's make the Rockets turn the ball over more than they actually get assists. That could help us win, Raptors. Seriously, we got to hound them. We can't let them have connection. We need to show that a big lineup won't work against some things, M.A. Adoka. That's what we got to say. That's what we got to do. Isaac's saying this. Good morning to Isaac, benevolent one. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you, Fiercey, also. Raptors got to embrace bench mob 101. Young Guns got no other choice. Should be supercharged game pace. Only love, you folks. There you go. There you go. Only love. Only love. Yeah, they need to charge this game up and get after it and run them off the court. If they're going to play a bunch of power forwards and centers the whole game, Tari Eason and Clint Capella are your backups, that's just more big guys. Well, we need to run them the fuck off the court then and really tire their asses out. So there better be strong energy coming from the Raptors, a lot of gumption, a lot of getting back to their identity is what I'm saying right here. That's right. That's right. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I hate to say Grady go, but we're struggling from the field, from the bench. And we have to play Battle. Then Grady becomes expendable. Grady would be our best trade piece and Battle would be an easy replacement. I hope that's not the case, but out of 4 games we played, Grady only showed up for 1. Need to see more from him if he's going to be an important piece going forward. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you in some ways that, like, if we're in a contest in the middle of the roster, in the middle positions of the squad, which is small forward shooting guard, Grady in some ways is the least dependable player. In some ways, but in some ways we got to allow him a chance. We notice if he does get a 21-point game off the bench, we win. So he, in some ways, we could say, just like Gary Trent Jr. before on our team, he's key to us winning. Like, we need him to wake up and hit threes and hit shots because we need him to add to win. But I get what you're saying, Shaq Lindsay, but I'm not ready to start voting people off the Survivor Island yet. Survivor's on tonight at 8, by the way. But, yeah, we'll be watching the Raptors or the Blue Jays, I'm sure. But a DVR, that Survivor. That's right. I'll watch it tomorrow. But, yeah, I'm not ready to vote anybody off the island. It's not time to go to tribal council. So there's no reason to talk about Grady's the one on the outs and the person that we need to get out. No, there's way more information we got to find out. And it may very well be in like a month from now, we're going to be like, yeah, great. We can't trade Grady. We can't trade Grady. So once again, we're not going to tribal council yet. When we get closer to tribal council time, well, maybe we'll figure out where our votes are going to as far as who we'd rather see stay on the team and who may be, somebody we don't mind getting traded. So I'm not ready to go to tribal council, even though it's Wednesday and Survivor's on today. All right, let me see what else. In the middle there, Isaac had a comment. No, wait. No, it's Fiercely saying win, 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 saying the wins. Mugarbe's here. Good to see Mugarbe Lennon holding it down for us in the middle of the country in the prairies. Grand uprising, Raptor freaks. One thing I noticed in the fourth, no one's trying to find Scotty, and I don't like how they're having him standing in the corner. Okay. There's been criticism in different people. Some people have said they're not finding Brandon correctly in the fourth quarter and feeding to him so he can be successful in clutch. Now you've said that we're not finding Scotty. I think in general, you're right that there's some ways the connections late in the game aren't happening correctly for us to be conducive to winning. And the guys need to play off each other more. There needs to be less kind of trying to look for themselves in isolation. That's lazy play calling. And just kind of when plays break down, we need to get more two-man game going. Two-man game with the talent that we have is what you need to do. Even if it's just RJ and Scotty setting up on a give and go. If it's IQ and Brandon doing a pick and roll. There's all kinds of different ways to play a two-man game with backdoor cut, Grady, hit him. We need to be looking for two-man game. And in some ways, two-man game stuff could very much cultivate something. And it's not as complicated, right? We don't have to do a triangle like Phil Jackson. We don't have to do a five-man passing 0.5. We could isolate two guys on one side of the court that are both mismatches, Brandon and Scotty, and do some crazy-ass back and forth until they find a shot that's easy and high percentage between going back and forth with each other. That's what I want to see. Darko, can you orient our offense with a two-man game more and isolate and put those other guys on the other side? And one guy needs to be crashing the boards to come in and get the second chance opportunity. One guy is back. He's kind of guarding just in case there's a run out. And then one guy is over in the corner just to get the relief valve of throwing the ball to him and he hits a three. We could do this. This could be a sound offensive set, not isolating just Brandon. Not just RJ rolling down the lane with a left-handed hook. No, can we get two-man action in different ways on the court? Because I feel like there's some fruit to be picked from the tree. If you can get two-man action, give and go, pick and roll, backdoor cuts, all that kind of shit. That's what I want to see more of. That's right. Mugarbe saying half the Pacers starting and main rotation guys are injured. And they are 0-3. So 1-3 is not that bad for the early season. Yeah, Pacers have really been decimated by injuries. They're scraping the bottom of their roster, playing people like Johnny Furpey and Ray J. Dennis and Ben Shepherd, getting starters minutes. In fact, if you want some fantasy advice, you could go get some Pacers right now for cheap that are getting starters minutes and starters stats and add them to your team right now. I think Ben Shepherd was on that waiver wire as of last night, and somebody could go get him if they wanted to. Ray J. Dennis, people like that. They're not bad fantasy pickups for right now if we're talking fantasy stuff. But, yeah, the Pacers, in some ways, how are they supposed to do things if they have a talent depletion? Because they have so many injuries right now. I feel for them. From the finals to this at that point. Fiercely saying this. Lex, what's a Raptors freak? Who's a Raptors freak is more optimistic than Jays fans? Incredible. That's the energy we need. What do you mean? Who's a Raptors freak is more optimistic than Jays fans? I didn't grow up in Toronto. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida. And I'm from Toronto. I was born in Toronto. I'm Canadian. I was born right downtown. And I was in Toronto for the first 4 years of my life until I was 4. But then when I turned 4, I moved to Florida, and I was raised down there after that. I didn't learn hockey. I didn't learn how to ice skate. I never got into the Leafs. I learned how to play basketball. I was tall for a kid. I played basketball when I was very little, and I never, ever played hockey. I didn't give a shit about hockey. I loved the NBA. The NBA didn't have a Toronto team until 95. And as soon as we got the team, that's when I was like, well, Toronto's my hometown. It's where I'm from. That's my team now. I'm a Raptors freak, and I will be going forward. Now, growing up in Tallahassee, that's where Florida State is. That's where the Seminoles are, where Scotty went to school, where I went to school. And we have a tradition of cheering our team on, our college football team. And they're not very good this year again. They've had tough years in years recently. They've had great years, though, under people like Bobby Bowden and Jimbo Fisher. And, I understood how to root for sports teams from college football. And I didn't learn how to root for sports teams from Leaf Nation. No, fuck all that shit. And that's why I have a totally different mindset than the average Toronto sports fan, because I come from a world where we support our team, where we love our team. And even if our team loses, we're still Seminoles. Even if our team is national champions, we're proud of that. There was a lot of success in Tallahassee when I was growing up with the football team and Bobby Bowden. We won a national championship with Charlie Ward, and then he went on to the NBA career with the Knicks. We won a national championship and it had a Heisman winner with Chris Winkie, who went on to play for the Carolina Panthers. I was around winning, and I saw how people cheered their team unconditionally, and they didn't slag on it. In fact, they defended it. If people tried to come at it and say different stuff like, hey, okay, Deion Sanders held up a convenience store. Great. Yeah, our wideout, our track star, baseball star, and our defensive cornerback for the Florida State Seminoles just robbed a convenience store. What do the fans do down there? They get mad at Deion? No, they're defending him. They're saying, who cares? He plays football for us. We love him, and we want him on the field. We're standing up for him. That's the thing. There's negative and positive fans, supportive fans and unsupportive fans. And I feel like Toronto sports fans in general are unsupportive fans because they are always have a contingency for whether they want to root for the team or not. Well, are you winning? Well, if you're not, I'm not even going to watch you. I won't even come to the games. You only if you're doing well. That's how Toronto fans have been. Like the fans in Tallahassee for Florida State show up no matter what because they just love their team. And that's where I come from. That's why I'm not like the average Toronto sports fan. That's why I wanted to create the Raptor Freaks. That's why I wanted a more positive space that's supportive towards the team and not so tearing it down, critical, and all this bullshit. Because I come from Florida State Seminoles fan nation. And I've seen how they operate down there growing up as a kid in Tallahassee. And I didn't grow up in Toronto with the jaded failure of the Toronto Maple Leafs over and over again. That's the difference. And it's a mindset thing. And in some ways, I appreciate all y'all for understanding the Raptor Freak family and what we're all about and how we root as fans. Because this is the biggest problem in Toronto sports with the fans, is they're jaded and they're half-ass fans, fair weather fans that only show up when teams are winning. Half these people are rooting for the Blue Jays right now. Most of them would not give the time of day to the Blue Jays otherwise. They just like the winning. They like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, I guess I'll watch the World Series since the Blue Jays got here, and they haven't watched a Blue Jays game in fucking 10 years. So it's like, I get it. People want to be around winning, and they only want to jump on the bandwagon when they're winning. But when they're down, they'll kick them, and they'll talk shit. And that's what's happening right now with the Raptors, is they're down a little bit right now. And the ugly side of Toronto sports culture with the fans here is showing its bullshit ass. So that's the big difference right there, Fiercey. That's the big difference right there. And that's why the overreaction to a loss on Monday night looks so childish and stupid. Because look, the Blue Jays didn't come around and win the next game, even the series up, and it's a best of 3 now. And they have home field advantage. So what the fuck, Blue Jays fans? You can be misinformed and get all crazy and bent out of shape. But seriously, hold it together and be better fans. Seriously. Be more like the Seminole Nation and rooting for the Florida State team than the Leaf Nation and the way they root for their team. Because it's toxic and it doesn't help anything. Trust me. The Leafs don't get anywhere because of their fans and the media. And in some ways, we want to be supportive to the Raptors to win the next Larry O'Brien for them, the second one that is coming. I know they'll get it. Well, don't be like Leaf Nation. And Blue Jays Nation, you should be more like Raptors Nation. Because you win this World Series, you will be. You will be, because you'll be champions and you'll be winners. And there won't be any kind of bullshit talk about Toronto sports are cursed or any bullshit like that. Fuck that shit. We don't do this shit just to say, oh, we can't win because there's just not any way we can. Fuck that shit. We're going to win, Toronto. and stop fucking being losers and having loser mentalities like Leaf Nation's loser ass mentalities. Seriously, and stop being toxic is what I'm saying. Stop being toxic. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I know I'm being too hard on Dick. All right, Shaq Lindsay doesn't do this very much. I walk right into that one. I don't want to, though. And someone's like, get away from me, Grady. But anyway, here we go. We're going to give Shaq Lindsay a joke dunk because he did make me chuckle just a second there because he set it up right. 93 on the dunk charts for Shaq Lindsay for that one. But we need consistency in one area from him, and it's probably not on defense. This is not the case for the other shooting guards because they play defense. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a range, and we've got Oshai and Grady on both ends, Oshai more defensive oriented, Grady more offensive oriented, then you got Jacoby in the middle, who's kind of a blend of both. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, to play on the Raptors, you have to play really good defense. And this is the biggest fight in the struggle for Grady Dick, is that he has to become a better and better defender. This was my knock on him when I scouted him. And this is why I said the Raptors should not scout him, is because I didn't think he'd be good enough to defend in the NBA. And in some ways, I'm not totally wrong still, even though he's been an exemplary pro for 2 years now. He's had real bright spots and stuff like that. But when it gets right down to it, in some ways, he is a defensive liability. And that was mainly one of the reasons why I was like, I don't think the Raptors should draft Grady Dick. He was on my no draft list. But I wanted him to prove me wrong. Grady, if you hear this or anyway, I know you won't, I would challenge you to prove me fucking wrong. Prove Shaq Lindsay wrong. Go out there and be an exemplary, above average defender. People like Alex Caruso can do it, so you can. Seriously, you're not that much. You're bigger than Alex Caruso. Yeah, I don't think you're any less quick than him. So it's just the work and the time and the mentality and the drive to go do it. And I do want Gray to be successful. I don't want him to get traded. I want him to be a Raptors champion. I want him to be on our next championship team. But these guys got to control their destiny. And we know RJ's controlling his destiny right now because he's doing everything he's supposed to do things right to stay a Raptor. So that's what Grady needs to do to an extent also. He needs to be like, fuck, I need to get this fixed so that I can have a long-term here. And but if he doesn't do it, he may be a liability. He may get traded, like Shaq Lindsay's saying. Because on the streams of things, it's like Oshai actually does have a little bit more offense added to his defense, but Grady's defense added onto his offense is not right exactly yet. He is a liability in some ways on the court. And if he's not making his threes, he's useless on the court, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, let's check in on that poll. It seems like 57% of y'all want him to play center and not point guard. That may be the right choice. That may be the right choice. The obvious, the choice that I really want is 4. is 4. I know I didn't give that option. But, yeah, 1 or 5, which is better for Scott tonight against the Rockets? Which position should Scott play more likely? That, yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying this. Notable bigs to help for the final roster spot. Hassan Whiteside, Miles Leonard. Miles Leonard? We need another big. Miles Leonard? What the fuck is that? Yeah, I mean, Hassan Whiteside's washed. He's been washed for a few years. He's a lot older than you think he is. I mean, he's been around since like 2010 or something. I don't know. It seems like Hassan Whiteside's been around forever. I don't know. I mean, I know you're looking at that list, and we do have an open roster spot. Who knows? Maybe Bobby will surprise us, and he will add somebody all of a sudden on a very low contract, although he's trying to mess with the cap right now. That's part of the reason why he has that roster spot open. But, I mean, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Shaq Lindsay's saying this. I don't like this. He's saying, I don't see Yaka back until Christmas. Back injuries take a lot of time to recover. Let's hope that it's not that bad, seriously. I don't think it's a serious back injury. It's just that it's limiting him. He's stiff and he's slow. Like I said, hopefully, you know, it's not let's not say this, Shaq Lindsay. Let's not speak this kind of stuff into existence. Seriously. Let's keep going. Fiercely saying, my personal take, I preferred how we started off last season. Many injuries, but the Shed, Mobo, Abaji, Dick combos were highly competitive against their teams. Our starting 5 needs to figure out their synergy. I do not prefer last season to this season. because we haven't gone far enough in. Last season was difficult. Last season was not easy in the least. Like, seriously, the schedule was absolutely much more harder. This is pretty hard so far, yeah, but it's going to lighten up a lot sooner than last year. Last year, we didn't have an easy game till December. We're going to get easy games in November immediately. So, once again, this is too soon. We've got to see 20 games, and some of those games will involve the Nets and the Hornets and the Wizards this year. In fact, the Wizards, we're going to see them in an in-season tournament game very soon. So, I mean, if you're saying that you like the way that the backup players played last year in ways, yeah. And in some ways, they haven't totally shown up yet either. We've had one good bench game, and that was the win against the Hawks. The other games, the bench has not contributed in scoring the way they're supposed to. And we need them to do better. They need to do better. Yeah, we need to figure out our synergy and our starters too. Yeah, that's all true. Fiercely saying if they give Yak cortisone injections to ease up his back pain, it's only temporary relief. The pain, discomfort will be gone, but he may have other side effects like slower movements. Maybe that is part of the reason why he's slower, is they were trying to give him cortisone. And that's why he's just slow to react out on the court. He's just not lithe and moving around like he did last year. You know, in some ways, there's a confidence problem now too, because he don't feel well. He's getting bad stat lines, and maybe he's lost confidence. Last year, he had a lot of confidence, and he was just having a career year. Well, this is the difference. You can see the difference between a career year for Yak and a hurt year for Yak, and we're seeing it right now. And is not as good. He's not as good when he's hurt. That's for sure. Yeah, Superfan Mo is here. Good to see Mo in the chat this morning. How are you doing this morning, Mo? Happy game day, Raptor Free crew. Let's get back to our winning ways at the game tonight. Miss everyone. Miss you too. I wish I was coming to the game, but I know you're going to the game, and you got to hold it down for us. Get that Sour Patch Kids shirt. It looks so cool. I think it's glow in the dark. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. I have a hoodie. I didn't bring it in here. I should have brought it. That Adriana gave me earlier this year. That's a Raptor skeleton hoodie that would have been perfect to wear to the game today because it's Halloween themed. And there's the logo, the Raptor as a skeleton. Well, I already have a hoodie that's like that. It's almost like she got the Halloween hoodie like 10 months early or something. It's weird. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic time at the game tonight, Mo, and bring those winning good luck vibes. I know you bring them whenever you come down there. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying this. I hope this isn't another bands year. Bands year? What is that? Bands year? What's that mean? Bobby needs to go into the tax and get a suitable replacement for Jakob until he fully returns healthy. Love to get Hassan Whiteside. Yeah, he's washed, guys. I don't know why you guys want to get him. There's going to be a younger, better player. In some ways, I don't know. Once again, I'm not going to tell Bobby how to do his job. If he has something he needs to do with the cap, at least temporarily this part of the season, let him do what he's going to do. He's going to know better than us. And when he can get somebody, like, first of all, Yak's not totally out. You know, they're saying that he could be playing today. He's doubtful, and he probably won't. But it's not. You guys are acting like Shaq Lindsay's making this sound so much worse than it is. He's saying they may be out till Christmas, this and this. You know, it may not be that bad. Seriously. Yak's injury may be just a little bit meddling right now, but it may not be that long. And in some ways, all of this talk about getting a replacement right is unnecessary because on the down low, the Raptors know that this will happen, and they don't need to react and mess up something that Bobby may be trying to do with the roster and the salary cap. So once again, we don't have the ultimate insider knowledge of the absolute details of Jakob. And in some ways, we just got to trust Bobby in his decision-making because he does know. And I don't like Shaq Lindsay saying, man, he could be out till Christmas. No, fuck that. We don't want that. He's going to get it right, and he'll be fine because we do need him. We do need him. Yeah, and like I said, Hassan Whiteside's washed. You guys are asking for something that's not going to help us. Mo's saying this, wearing my IQ jersey, he damn sure needs the support. Well, I mean, we were talking about the idea of possibly him not starting tonight because of the big lineup that the Rockets have been playing, and that maybe there's a weird lineup where Scotty's point guard and Colin Murray-Boyles steps in the starting lineup instead of IQ, and we play bigger against the Rockets, because that is a lineup they've been doing. Is they don't have anybody short out there playing, and maybe in some ways this is an idea. I don't know. Yeah, Darko has all kinds of different things he could do, and in some ways I want to see what his coaching decisions are, because we're watching him real closely right now too. We need Darko, IQ, and Scotty to all look good and do good things. It's Brandon too. That's right. Reggie's here. Good to see Reggie. It will take the Raptors 10 to 15 games to gel. This very slow start doesn't surprise me. But what they really need, though, is another backup five. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you guys, especially with tonight. I mean, is Bobby going to be quick enough to get somebody at our arena tonight just so we can have one more big if Yak is out? It's like we got Mamu, we got Mobo, we lost Shamshay. Who the fuck do we have, Bobby, is in our depth chart at this point? And in some ways, Sandro isn't a full center in some ways, and Jonathan Dam for sure isn't. And don't put Scotty in that depth chart. No, please don't. Please don't. Nawak Naka is here again. IQ needs to make it easy for BI. Yeah, I think that they all need to make it easy for each other and start looking out for each other. In some ways, be the right level of selfish. Don't be too unselfish that you're passing up really high level shots that you can make, Brandon or Scotty. But maybe, look for each other. And like I said, the 2-man game stuff would be awesome. I just want to see more of that, whether it's whatever combination of those 4 starters working off each other, whether it's IQ and Brandon, whether it's Brandon and RJ, whether it's RJ and IQ, whether it's Scotty with any of them. I want to see 2-man action and way more of deriving good open shots from getting mismatches from little interactions between Ingram and Barnes and stuff like that. There's a lot to be done there if they do this correctly and have little sets like that. But in some ways, we're trying to do isolation, or we're trying to do like a big 5-man offensive set when it goes around and then people are picking off passes, or we're just getting caught up to the ball's not moving around enough. Maybe we derive space to get good open shots through 2-man game. I don't know why. I want to keep saying that. I just feel like that's a good try to solve it. You know what I'm saying? Kaz saying off topic, Lex, but I'm curious what your fantasy picks are for Survivor this season. Okay. I'm the only one in our Survivor pool that has all 4 of my contestants still there. Adriana's down to 2, I believe. And my parents both have lost at least one person. I have all 4 of my people still. And my team is this. My first pick in the draft was MC. I have MC on my team. She's the tough Nigerian lady who got made fun of for having muscles as a little kid. I've got Nate, the producer of Black Panther, who's hiding that fact from the other survivors. I identified with him as one of the older males, and he's been fantastic so far. I feel like he has a strong leadership in the game. So right there, I have 2 of the strongest players in the season, MC and Nate. I have Rizzo. He was my last pick. I didn't really want Rizzo, but out of the last couple people that were left, I took him, the Riz God. That dude is goofy as fuck. I would say that. And then my 4th person, my other female, is Sage. And I thought Sage, much like MC, was a big, strong woman and would be good in challenges. So, yeah, my team's pretty strong. I like my team. MC, Nate, Sage, and Rizzo. Rizzo's the only one I'm not the most thrilled about. But he's surprising me in some ways. But, yeah, that's my team, Kaz. There you go. There's my 4 survivors that I'm rooting for. We pick a 4-person team, and we have 2 alternates every season. We've been doing this for about 8 seasons now. Adriana, my parents, and I. We really enjoy it. It's fun. And then on Thursdays, we usually call each other and we talk about what happened on the show in a conference call, all 4 of us. It's pretty fun. Stargate's here. Good to see Stargate. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. I already posted my perspective on the team in Discord. Yeah, you're talking about the D'Antoni stuff. As far as going forward without Yak for a bit, I personally would like Scotty at center playing inside out rather outside as a guard. Okay, so you voted in the poll, right? Because I've got that 5 on there, either the 1 or the 5. I feel like you could go either way, and it could be interesting. Like if we went big and we had Colin in the starting lineup and took IQ out of it, that could be a very interesting look. Seriously, Mamu also in the starting lineup. Mamu, Brandon, Colin, RJ, and Scotty as the starting five. That may be the best way to match up with them this game tonight. But I like your ideas of like, let's run them off the court. Let's just go, because that is usually a good counter for big plotting, slow, big lineups. That is usually one. Stargate, good insight. I'm listening to you, man. We'll have to see what happens tonight with what they decide. That's right. Seymour saying Kenny Lofton Jr. Well, he's not really. See, this is the thing. I don't want to get a fat guy. I don't want to get a guy who's short and plays center is small. I want a tall guy. We need a real legitimately sized, tall center. In some ways, I would rather get Moses Brown, seriously, than Kenny Lofton Jr., just because there's length and there's shot blocking. But we know Moses Brown's a dead end. We don't want him either. We don't want him. Kofi Coburn, another solid big who played at Illinois. Where is Kofi Coburn? He was like somebody that was in that draft with Koloko that we were like, wow, this guy could be really good. I don't hear anything about him. Is he just out there floating? I don't know. Maybe we bring up Olivier Sarr. As much as that's not totally the most attractive thing to do, Olivier Sarr is on the G League level and could be possibly thrown a 10-day ad or something like that. I don't know. The other kid is the tryout kid who's a center on 905, Jaden Bediako. He actually came into 905 training tryout, paid the fee like Evan Gilliard last year, and made the Raptors 905 this year, Bediako. And I don't know if he's related to Charles Bediako, who's been around the Team Canada stuff, maybe. But yeah, Jaden Bediako could be. Maybe they bring up Julian Reese. Maybe they let Angel's brother come up as another power forward. He's a similar size guy to Jabari Smith. So he could be actually pretty effective tonight. I don't know. I don't know if we're calling anybody up. It's too early, and maybe Darko and Bobby are like, we're just going to go with who's available, and we're going to try and win with this squad, even if we don't have a true center right now. And we're going against a team that has like three true centers. Oh, gosh. All right, let's see. Seymour saying we need another big or put Scotty at once so we have an advantage at some position because we're getting killed inside without Yak. You know, the problems with inside are that we're not doing the work. Like, we could be doing better with the rebounds, but like I said, Scotty's not aggressive to get the rebounds right now. In some ways, he forgot that's an important duty he needs to do all the time. You know, when Colin Murray-Boyles led our team on rebounds last game, he only had 4 rebounds. That's the most rebounds anybody got on the Raptors against the Spurs on Monday night. Colin got 4 rebounds. He was our leading rebounder with 4 as the rookie in his bust-out game. Nobody else got more than 4 rebounds, and Scotty's out there. Jakob's out there. Brandon, RJ, none of them got more than 4 rebounds. That's a problem. They need to put in the work to go get the boards and stop being fucking lazy. Box out and go get the fucking ball. There's no excuses. That's a lack of energy and effort that's not getting the rebounds right now. It's a lack of energy and effort. That's right. Raptors champ saying, you're right, Lex. Scouts passed on him because he didn't defend. Yeah. I mean, when I watch the clips of college players, I really don't watch them in college. I don't believe the hype. I have to look at them and see real kind of transitional skills that will translate to the NBA. And that's what I look at with all of them. You know, my scout on Colin wasn't good either. I didn't want them to draft Colin Murray-Boyles either. He was not on my draft list. He's undersized for his position. And I said, that's already a detriment to him. But if he has an extraordinary talent that's bigger than his actual body, then I can get behind him. And he seems like he's like that. And that's one of those cases where I was like, okay, I would have taken Asa Newell because he's absolutely bigger than him and he's a similar kind of player. But no, you think Colin Murray-Boyles has an it factor that's better than Asa Newell. So, I mean, both those picks I did not like. I did not like Murray-Boyles initially because I was thinking we were getting Common. And then Grady, I wanted Jordan Hawkins. But, you know, Grady may be better than Jordan Hawkins. And Colin Murray-Boyles may very well be better than Common Malawach. So, we're just going to have to see with time. Stargate saying, I say keep Mamu coming off the bench. We need that energy, and he seems to have a very good chemistry with Jamal. I would start Colin because he plays like a traditional power forward, and I like that. That's tough, man, because without Yak, you're putting Scotty at center. You're putting him at center for sure in that formation. So that's kind of what this question is today. Should we have Scotty more oriented towards the center or the point guard in this matchup that we're going against, this really unique matchup for the NBA right now, the Rockets and what they're doing right now? So Stargate wants Mamu off the bench. I mean, I can get behind that. It's just that I feel like our starters are going to be in trouble. Maybe they can run them off the court. Who knows? Mugarbe saying this, Lex, you think Pensare basketball was bad? He is on a tear, wants to trade RJ, and he's talking bad about BI. Well, fuck Pensare. Listen, and that's the reason why, as a Raptors influencer, I try to use my platform for good. And if he's just tearing it up even more at this level, well, I've never trusted him. I don't think he's actually a Raptors fan. I think he's a fan of Scotty's. And he just showed up when Scotty came around, and he wants to try and manipulate things for Scotty. And in some ways, he may be a fan of another team. And in some ways, he wants things to get pulled apart up here as much as possible. So it expedites Scotty leaving here to go to a team that he'll follow Scotty with. And he'll stop being a Raptors fan if Scotty's not a Raptor anymore. Seriously, I could see that being the truth about Robert Pensare's piece of shit motherfucker, Misovic, missing on a lot of takes is what it more likely. Misovic, missing on the takes, bro. Missing on the takes. Yeah, if he's coming after RJ, a big fuck you to a man who's not from Toronto, who had nothing to do with this city other than Scotty Barnes, coming after a hometown hero like RJ Barrett. Fuck you, Robert Pensare, Misovic, whatever your fucking name is, you sorry piece of shit. Yeah, I've said that for a couple of years. I'll say it again right now. That's right. Stargate saying this, I can't stand Scotty at point guard at all. He's way more productive 17 to 15 feet in. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. That's why I'm glad the 5 is winning in that poll. But that was an interesting idea to propose, is go big by putting Scotty at 1 and just putting a bunch of forwards out there just to counteract with it. Well, we're going to have to see what Darko decides. He could decide to do what we're talking about right now. He could. G's here. Good to see G. He's saying to Mugarbe, unfortunately, he's very predictable. Anytime Scotty has an off game, he goes on a tear against his teammates. It's sad and weird. He goes on a tear against his teammates? It's sad and weird. Yeah, Scotty had an 8-point game against the Spurs. So should we expect him to score a lot tonight? Maybe. I'd hope so. I'd like to see him bounce back. But the stats for Scott that I care about are defensive stats and rebounding. I just want him to do that stuff. Get steals and blocks and play good defense on the big guys. In some ways, the scoring isn't as important from you, Scott. But if you're going to go for your scoring to the detriment of other guys and freezing them out, I don't know if that's the right move. I think if he flows naturally with the game and he gets points and he gets like 30 points that way naturally, there's nothing wrong with that, because he did get a natural 30 the other day. It was very much in the flow of the game. I mean, I get what you're saying, G, but honestly, we need Scott to have the gumption to come back with a better effort. That's the most important thing. Whether the better effort is going to get rebounds or trying to score more, I'll take whatever he does. He just needs to try and play better winning basketball. That's all. He needs to play better winning basketball. I think that's the important thing right there. Nameless is here. Good to see the Italian plumber. In an alternate universe somewhere, the Raptors are 4-1 with Masai Ujiri still in charge. That's weird because they've only played 4 games. That'd be so weird if they got 5 games in the record. I'm just being cheeky here. So they'd be 3-1. Yeah, and Masai's still in charge. I love that. And Kamala Harris is president. Oh my gosh. Can we get to that warp zone, Mario? Where is the pipe? Seriously. Can I jump in the pipe right now? And jump out of the pipe, and boom, I'm in a different world 8-4. And it's a castle, and it's Kamala Harris is in the White House. That would be awesome, man. I wish I could jump through a warp zone pipe like Mario. Maybe the people will be such fans of Super Mario Brothers in the future, and there'll be such weird things going on in society that there will be the ability to jump from different perspectives of time and space through Super Mario Brother pipes, like the video games. Like, I love the game so much, I invented this. It's a Mario Brothers pipe. Yeah, try it. Jump through it. It'd be just like an everlasting gobstopper from Willy Wonka. It's like, try the everlasting gobstopper. What do you taste now? I tasted turkey dinner. Mr. Wonka, it's amazing. What did you invent? I invented a warp zone, just like on Mario Brothers. Yeah, go through it. See where you end up. Yeah, yeah. I'd be all about that. Would you jump through a Mario Brothers warp zone pipe just without even knowing where you were going? What if you ended up in Bowser's castle? Or worse yet, what if you were underwater with the cheat cheeps? Oh, I can't swim. Mario Brothers swimming. Oh, we've gone all the way back to Italian plumbing. Of course that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. All right, let's keep going. So fret not. That's right. All right. Reggie saying Raptors inviting fans to stay in their seats after the game to watch the Blue Jays again. Of course. Of course. Cross promotion. We're all under one house now, the House of Rogers. That's right. We're one big sports clan. And everything is going to be cross promoted this way and that way. We would get Buffalo Bills more involved and the Raptors for some odd reason. Okay. Hold back on the Leaf stuff, though. We just don't want Leaf associations with our team because, yeah, once again, we'll go over the Leaf stuff earlier. We understand what that's going on with that. Yeah. Yeah. Raptors champ saying, why is Bobo not in the NBA? I did my research, but I think it's more he's 25 and he shoots the three. That would be a nice option. The son of Manute. I would be all about Bobo coming in. Maybe that is the right decision. That'd be awesome. Maybe the NBA doesn't allow the Raptors to have these things. There's underlying rules that we don't know about, and we're not allowed to have centers because there's a secret. Some people keep calling it Canadian tax. No, there's no Canadian tax on the contracts, Reddit. You're wrong. It's not about us having to pay more for players to keep them here. None of our contracts are overpriced. And the person who analyzed this was exactly right. That's not what the Canadian tax is. The Canadian tax is, first of all, it was losing your playoff series game one every single series. That was a Canadian tax enforced on us by the NBA and the scheduling and the referees. And they enforced it and they railroaded us to lose a lot of game ones in our history because they wanted to make that a thing for the Raptors to try and hold them back, to govern them, to hold them down. Is they made up a thing called the Raptors have a problem with losing every single first game of every playoff series they play. And that thing's held true up until our championship year. In fact, it held true in the first round when we lost to Orlando and everybody fell out and got all mad at Kyle Lowry and acted like an ass. Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, that was the Canadian tax. Another Canadian tax may be on the underlying that we're not allowed to have centers. Seriously, the NBA front office is like, oh, Koloko, Shamshay, nope. And I'm sorry, you can't roster more than one true center on your team, Bobby Webster. It's underlying NBA rules that you cannot talk about publicly. But this is it. Bobby Webster, prove me wrong, man. Go get another center today. Prove me wrong. Go get Bobo. Just like we're talking about. Go get Bobo. And prove me wrong that there isn't a Canadian tax on us by the NBA that says we're not allowed to have more than one legitimate center on our roster at any time. Seriously. The Cleveland Cavaliers had like 5 centers during periods of times when we had one center. Seriously. Why can't we have more centers on our roster? Are we not allowed to? Like, what the fuck is this? Seriously, shit. This shit. What is this? Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. Stargate saying this. Like I mentioned in the Discord, roles have to be more defined, and that the coaching staff's that's the coaching staff's job. Let the scorers score. BI and RJ are our main scorers. Everyone else is there to facilitate those two, including Scotty. He's exactly right. What Stargate was saying during the game the other night is that he doesn't think it should be an egalitarian system where it's kind of equalized. Anybody can take shots. He thinks we should be feeding Brandon and RJ more than everybody else. And we should be that's the action we should do. And I don't totally disagree with him. I think that if we have certain levels of offensive players out there like Grady and Jacoby and Scotty, that they should have their chances to get their shots too. But I have no problem with this. I think on the download, they do this. Like the shot attempts for Brandon and RJ should be higher than everybody else. Maybe IQ is next too, and Scotty. But I don't disagree with you. I think that if they tried to look for those guys. Now, what I've been proposing this stream so far is more 2-man game. And if you have 2 guys like RJ and Brandon working off each other, well, that's focusing on them to get the score between the 2 of them. If you have Scotty with Brandon working in a pick and roll or a give and go, there's some very interesting actions that can happen there. So I think that may be the key to figuring this out. But you make the more prominent person in the two-man game either Ingram or Barrett. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on this. It's the equalization of everybody is in some ways great in theory, but when the shit hits the fan and it's the real game, you need to go with bread and butter guys that are going to put the ball through the hoop. And Brandon Ingram's number one, and RJ Barrett's number two. Yeah, yeah, I'm with him on this. We're saying Hassan Whiteside, he's still around, man. He's nowhere around. That's a dead end. That's just a name they're bringing up. Bobo's more realistic. Bobo's more realistic. Or what about Precious Achua, guys? I know he's just out there floating, and I know he's not a true center, but he's a familiar guy here, and he does know how to play NBA defense to a degree. And he is a good rebounder. I don't know if we need to get him in here because we got Jonathan already, and there's this, there's a couple of similarities there in some ways. But I mean, he is somebody that's out there. And in some ways, I could see that maybe. I don't know. Kaz is saying, I'm just curious why you enjoy hate watching. I mean, I don't agree with everything Lex says, but I don't go on other people's channels to talk shit. Oh, you're talking to other people. I don't watch the other stuff. Well, Raptors fans, Raptors freaks like to ingest Raptors content. And they probably go and check out all kinds of different creators, whether it's the Raptors Digest kids. I don't even know how much he's making these days, Ben. Luca Rosano, the Raptors Republic outputs, what is it, Amateur Hoops. There's a lot of different people putting out Raptors content. And, some of them are more prominently positioned on YouTube as far as suggested. When you type in Toronto Raptors, who comes up? I'm going to come up at some point, but maybe not right away. And Pensero will probably come up very quickly. And I mean, we used to do a thing on here, Kaz, where people would come and report what he was saying all the time. And I was just kind of like, I don't give a shit what he's saying. I really don't. There was a lot more back and forth. And it really was more like Raptors Freak versus Pensero basketball a couple years ago. And it was really when Fred was on our team still, and he was going after Fred so hard. And I was standing up for Fred VanVleet because I understand the importance of Fred VanVleet in the Raptors history, and I respect it. And Robert Pensero never did. Fuck Robert Pensero for how he talked about Fred VanVleet for a couple years. So the orientation of me versus Pensero was because of that. A lot of it was because of Fred. And then he started talking shit about Dennis when Dennis came. And then he started talking shit about Pascal. It's just we see the pattern with him. And I agree with you. I don't know why these guys go and watch him. I mean, Mugabe is going to check him out. People are going to check him out. And sometimes they want to check him out just to see how stupid what he's saying is what he's saying. Different people may come in there to actually argue with him and prove some points. They may take some of the things we talk about here and bring them to Robert and say, yeah, fuck you. You're a fucking asshole. We don't want to hear what you're saying. This is what we think. So Stargate saying, man, do we miss O-Rob right now? No, or Orlando Robinson? Yeah, I would love to have him still on this team. I still don't agree with how we handled that. I would have much rather had Orlando Robinson on our team. But I feel like in some ways, some people on the team didn't meld with him exactly right. And that's why he was on the outs. And Colin Castleton didn't work out either. They're both on Orlando. Nameless saying, I'd love to see Lex on an episode of Love Island. I'd root for you, man. That'd be fun. I don't know. That format, it could be heartbreaking. But then again, I'm such a warrior of love, been through so much heartbreak and so much crazy shit. I mean, I've been a bachelor most of my adult life. So I've dated a lot of different women and been in a lot of crazy situations. That's the one thing. I'm not married. I don't have no kids. And being 50 years old, well, I have a lot of experience. Let's just put it that way. And there's been a lot of romance and a lot of interesting things that happened to Lex in his love life. I don't know if I want it on the reality show, though, but it'd be interesting. Y'all might have to see how much game I have on Love Island. You see, like, everybody be like, holy shit, Lex actually has game. Look at what he just said to that lady. And, like, look how smooth he is. I do have game. I actually am really good at first dates. Like, I don't get nervous on them. When I go on first dates, I usually wow the person I'm on a first date with. Normally that happens, but sometimes I have had some duds where it just doesn't work at all. But yeah, that'd be weird if I was on Love Island. That'd be very weird. Isaac Campbell saying dunk for me on my starting 5: RJ, CMB, Scotty, Mamu, and BI3. That's an interesting starting lineup. Maybe just for tonight against the Rockets. You want to give me a dunk? All right, Isaac. I'll do what you said. I'm going to give myself a dunk. And I'm going to over 100 now. I'm 102, guys. 102 for Lex on the charts. Whoa, don't put 2 ones on there. That's 1,000. All right, there you go. 102 for Lexi on the junk charts. All right, Kaz is saying this. Rizzo is so cringe, man. Holy smokes. He is cringe. It's partly just because he's that young generation. I mean, it's the kind of thing where he's going to watch a season of Survivor at 30 years old, and he's like, oh, my God, I can't believe I was like that. Oh, my God, why didn't anybody tell me I was so cringe? He's going to be like that when he gets older. Same thing will happen to Adonis, and he'll be yelling at his dad later. He's like, why did you make me make that video, Dad? I just want to make that big like that. He's like, you were cool. What are you talking about, Adonis? No, Dad, why did you make me make a video with Grady Dick? It's stupid. I hate it. It's just like Adonis, man. Adonis and his little music career that he did a couple of years ago. Man, Drake, your son's going to hate you for that down the road. You know he is. Seriously. Like, why did you do that? Oh, yeah, super cringe. Yeah, Rizzo. Yeah, the Riz God. Kobe. I did say this to Josh Lewinberg last week, and he always recaps the Survivor stuff because he's a big Survivor fan too. And I appreciate that Josh waits a day before he posts about Survivor so people that don't watch it live can have a chance and he doesn't spoil it for them. Well, Josh was talking about how, this is something I noticed on Survivor the last couple seasons. They have way more competitions where they're actually shooting basketballs. Seriously, they're putting more hoops and challenges in Survivor where the contestants have to make shots to finish the game and win. In fact, the last episode had it like that last week. But more and more episodes, you have to have basketball skills on. And players are having to shoot coconuts or balls into hoops from far away more and more. And it's funny because these players are going like Kobe. They're shooting shots and they go, Kobe. It's so stupid. That's what that Rizzo guy did. But he's not the only one who did this. There's been 2 guys this season who've taken basketball shots and yelled out Kobe as they're shooting. Oh, Survivor. That's right. Salute the champ. That's right. Seymour saying, any chance we can see the Skeleton Raptors hoodie? Sounds cool as fuck, man. Yeah, I was going to wear it today, but it's in the house now. I don't have it in the studio right now. So I'll try and wear it on the show tomorrow for the reaction. I'll make sure I try and wear it tomorrow for the show. I was going to wear it today, but I forgot. I'm wearing my championship hoodie that Evelyn gave me. Granny Swag gave me this Raptors championship hoodie. In some ways, I'm trying to get the championship vibes for the Blue Jays by wearing the championship hoodie and not the skeleton, because to me, the skeleton represents death. And I don't want the Blue Jays season to die today because I'm wearing the Raptors skeleton hoodie in some ways. So I'll wear it tomorrow on the show for sure. Hopefully both teams have won tonight. Toronto teams, Raptors and Blue Jays. Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah. But I'll definitely show you that hoodie at some point. It's cool. Most saying this. I like the NBA in-season tournament court. Red's just too bright. I like that they did it red this year. I do. We've had black ones. We've had purple ones. And now we've got a Raptors red one. Also, once again, I'm going to say this, NBA. Y'all make so much waste and bullshit making new courts over and over again. This world of consumption and overproduction and waste has got to change. We've got to have a new revolution of stop making wasteful products, wasteful shit, wasteful plastic products, and start fucking being more sustainable and using our materials. There's too much shit in landfills. So I do not like the NBA making all 30 teams make brand new courts that are only used for 2 games the whole fucking year. And then what do those courts do? I hope maybe you take the one from last year, you strip it, and you put new stuff on there, because that's the mentality we should have more in society of reusing materials or recycling, re-upping, whatever, and stop fucking making new things and throwing things out over and over again. Seriously, I don't like that the NBA makes them have new courts every year, but I guess it's part of the flashiness. And they only use these fucking courts for 2 games. 2 fucking games. And how much does that court cost to build? It seems like a waste of money and a waste of a lot of shit. So either redo it on the same floor or, figure this out. I hate wasteful shit, and there's too much waste in this world. Consumer society is fucking up things in their own way because of buying so much useless shit that gets thrown out and put in landfills. Start making better appliances and electronics so we're not throwing shit out and having to buy new ones and it's going in landfills. That's my rant on that. But yeah, I like the red court. I think it's cool. I think the best in-season tournament court we've had is the black and gold one. And the one last year was kind of too purpley for me. This year it's red. And we'll see how it looks. This one pop. We'll see which jerseys we're wearing on it too. Probably red jerseys. Stargate saying this. Remember when the Raptors put Antonio Davis at center and it worked? He actually made an all-star team as a center for the Raptors. Yes, he hated it, but he is way more productive in that position. I mean, in some ways, Antonio Davis is a full center now, but he wasn't back then. And you're right. But he had the strength and the ability to do something. I totally remember this. But in some ways, this is not applicable to what's going on with what's happening with us. Antonio Davis also had Charles Oakley and Kevin Willis next to him. That's part of the reason why you could get away with playing him at center is because you had 2 other power forwards that were very capable guys that were around him that really helped with the rebounding. Those guys were badasses. We had 3 of the best rebounders in the league on our team. Seriously, we really did at that time. That was a luxury right there. Let's see. Seymour saying, Lex, Hassan came out and said he was averaging 18, 14, and 4, and Chauncey didn't sign him back because he was betting back then, and Delano was balling. Chauncey is a dirty man. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just say that he's guilty, but he probably is. I don't know. In some ways, I don't care. I feel bad for him, man. What a weird fucking life. He's an unsung, come from the nowhere kind of player that makes himself a Hall of Famer, a champion. In some ways, he should have never been a Hall of Famer, but because he got that championship with the Pistons, he became Mr. Big Shot, and he really marketed himself bigger and bigger. In some ways, I never really thought of him as one of the best players in the league. I don't even really think of him as a Hall of Famer. You take that championship away from him, and he's not a really good player. And now this coaching controversy with the gambling and as him as a coach, yeah, it's horrible. His whole legacy is tarnished. And, a lot of he had a feeble case for Hall of Fame in the first place. And he's a Hall of Famer. He got in already. But, man, it's too bad. I don't know what's going on with Hassan Whiteside. Should I go look at him real quick? Let's go look at him real fast and see what the hell's going on with Hassan Whiteside. And maybe we can just get down to knowledge of seeing what's up. Let me see. Hassan Whiteside. I don't even see. He's not even coming up. There he is. Okay. He has not played in the league in 3 years, y'all. The last time he played in the league was in 2022. Yeah, he's not coming, man. He's not coming. He's washed, man. He's done. They call him Count Blocula. No, he's washed, man. That dude hasn't been in the league for 3 years. He's not coming back now, guys. If a little guy like Isaiah Thomas can't come back and reclaim his a big guy who's been out and slower than ever, yeah, it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. Let's see. Stargate saying, I see the same thing with Scotty. Yes, he's going to hate playing center, but he will have better production. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think that's the opposite. He'll have worse production because, once again, the more defensive responsibilities where Scott has to fight a bigger guy who may be stronger than him, that will hurt his offense. That'll hurt his ability to have energy to do things on the offensive end. That's why I never agreed with him playing center, is because he would have to put too much effort in trying to corral people like Jokic. Sengun's going to be a tough enough one tonight, and he probably will have to guard Sengun. So, yeah, I'm not with this. Stargate. It's not like Antonio Davis. In some ways, Antonio Davis doesn't have the offensive skills and the passing that Scotty does that's so good that we can sacrifice Antonio Davis to play at center because it's not like that's the area where he naturally has his gifts and gives stuff. Scotty has so much to give, and pigeonholing him into the center position is not the right decision because that's too much strength energy outputted that Jakob should be absorbing. And I'd much rather Sandro or Jonathan come in and absorb more of that energy than Scotty, because Scotty can help us in other more creative, talented ways around the court if he's loosened up and he's not having to worry about the biggest player on the other side. That's my whole case against it right there. Kareem's saying, I put Scotty at 1 only if he's attacking in attack mode, going downhill, kind of like Giannis. Do we question Scotty's killer instinct on a game-to-game basis? I wish we could get that version of him. Yeah. I mean, I like this idea. If he's going to ball handle, he can. He bring up the court, and he can just kind of dissect, because he's going to have a mismatch against whoever guards him. Either he can try and get down low, which is easier for him to post if he doesn't have the ball. But if he can get past a slower defender and drive lanes, then come downhill, that's great. If he has a smaller guy, maybe he can pass it to somebody else and then back them down and do a post up. Yeah, I like this. In some ways, you're describing something that if Scotty can get the gumption and show that will, like we're talking about, that killer instinct, this would be ideal. Seymour saying up and down like Slinky. Everyone loves a slinky. Okay, everyone loves a slinky. It's slinky. It's slinking. Everybody loves a slinky. Tyler's okay. We got a guy in here who's going to stand up for Pincer. Tyler Later. Never heard the name. Thanks for the subscription, though, for being in here. He said, what the fuck? Penn didn't talk down on BI. That's what they're saying. That he's coming after RJ, though. You're not saying that he didn't come after RJ. Well, that's enough for me to be pissed off. Yeah. I mean, whether he said something about Brandon or not, he has a track record of dissing players other than Scott and coming after them on our team. And it's unhealthy. It's toxic. In some ways, I don't appreciate Robert training Raptors fans to be negative and toxic. And that's what he does, Tyler. I hate that shit. I hate that he came after Fred. I hate that he came after Dennis. I hate that he came after Pascal. I hate that he comes after RJ now. Hey, can we see a pattern here with Robert Misovich, piece of shit? He fucking comes after different players not named Scotty on our team consistently over the last 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, fuck him. 2 finger salute. And y'all can see the fingers today. Tyler, I want you to see them. And tell Robert that, too. Seriously, I ain't got no time for him. They try to put me on the same show with him a couple times. And I'm like, man, I will cuss him out on your show. Seriously, I will cuss him out. And I will talk circles around him, too. Because I have the gift of gab. And I will fuck him up verbally if I ever get a chance to face off with him in any kind of forum. I will. But I don't want to have anything to do with him, honestly, because his vibes and his whole thing is so icky and gross. We're trying to be positive fans for the team. And that means all the players. We're not throwing people on the bus like he's throwing RJ under the bus, whether he said anything about BI or not. That's right. Stop the cap. I got the Blue Jays cap on because we're going to win in the World Series tonight. That's right. G saying, well, someone in the chat said he did, but regardless, he does talk down on RJ, and that's a fact. He did go against Fred, Pascal, and now RJ. That's right. We've seen the pattern, Tyler. We've seen the pattern. RJ Phillips is here. That's Randolph Phillips. Blessings to Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. This is your chance to show just what you are made of. Trust the process and stay on your God-given path. You are unique, and so is your purpose. There you go. I like that. Yeah, there's been a lot of words of wisdom from Randolph and Trevor about know your destiny, go for your goals, go out there and do it. Do what God has intended you to do because he built you this way, and you need to do what God's will is. So get in touch with your purpose in life, what your skills are uniquely as a person, and do the will of God and what he created you for. I love that. Blessings to Randolph Phillips, all the families of the Raptor Freaks, and the Phillips family especially. That's right. Kareem saying this. Pensera definitely talked down on BI with that stupid graphic he posted on X, only fucking 2 games in. There you go. Kareem's calling bullshit on you, Tyler, because he's got receipts, and he's got a post on X that shows exactly that you're wrong. Okay, I don't go on X.
I'm not trying to sewer myself with X or Robert Pensair. I'm above all this shit. Seriously, in some ways. G saying, there you go. He does it passive aggressively too. It's just so damn lame. That's right. What did he say? Tyler wants to know what he said. Isaac saying, we need to sign Kevin Willis to a 10-day contract. That would be interesting. That would not work. That would not work. I don't think that would work. Maybe Kevin Willis comes in and gets new suits for the Raptors. That's right. Kevin Willis has got that big and tall suit store in Atlanta. And maybe the Raptors need to stop by there and get new suits from Kevin Willis. That's what they can do. Yeah, get them the nice suit. Maybe Scotty's orange suit, the apricot suit he was wearing the other day was a Kevin Willis suit. That'd be cool. Maybe it was. It could be. Could be. Probably not, though. Most saying this. I don't like the crossover. Reggie, time change is hard for me with the Blue Jays. Yeah, the Blue Jays, well, at least they're playing in prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern, a little bit earlier out on the West Coast in L.A., but yeah, at least they're playing in prime time. And the game was just super late on Monday, Monique. That was a double game. Twice, 2-for-1 deal. 2-for-1 deal. You got a Blue Jays game, 2-for-1 deal. Yeah, we get an extra 9 innings with your 9 innings. There you go. Yeah, time change is going to be time change. We're going to be dealing with it, when we go on West Coast trip. That's right. Seymour saying 4 rebounds. That's it. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, we had 20 rebounds as a team against the Spurs. Wemby is not like that. I mean, in some ways, it is that they out-rebounded us, doubled us up 44-20. And then also, they were shooting so well. That's part of it. The Spurs shot like 58% from the field, and they don't miss much. We don't get as many rebound attempts. And then, we're missing on the other end, and they're in boxing out, and they're getting defensive rebounds. That's how they get 44 rebounds, and we have 20. That's part of it right there. That's part of it. Although we should have gone and got more rebounds. They were not trying to rebound right. And they weren't boxing out either, right? That's a big thing we got to fix right away. We got to box out better, Raptors. We got to box out better. Wayne saying this, morning, Raptor Freaks. Looking forward to seeing how adaptable and flexible our team is, leaving the panicking to others. There you go. There you go. We are wise Raptor Freaks. We're older fans, and we are ones that understand and the whole drill of this. And we're not overreacting and chicken littling like people were after the Blue Jays loss on Monday night. We're not freaking out about the 1-3 start of the Raptors like a lot of people are in Raptors Nation. No, we still have to accrue some more information to make determinations. And this is way too soon for people to be jumping off the bandwagon and freaking out and acting out of shit. It just shows how people just don't have cool. People that are freaking out right now, you have no cool. You are not like Joe Cool, Snoopy. That's right. When Snoopy puts the sunglasses on, he's Joe Cool. You're not like that. You can't stay cool as a cucumber like Wayne's trainer and I. We see what's going on here. We're not overreacting. We're just letting them figure it out. And we're not adding to the extraneous, unnecessary noise that comes out of Raptors fans' social media bullshit. Seriously. What is all this extraneous noise? We're fans. We're supposed to watch the games, enjoy them. Hopefully they win. So let's cheer for the team to win. That's our job. Our job isn't to criticize. Our job isn't to be Robert Pensair and come after RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram. No. Our job is to be fans. And if you like the team, root for the team, go to the games, buy the apparel. If you don't like the team, then shut the fuck up and there's the door. That's it. That's it. And if you're going to be a toxic fan and think, oh, I know what Bobby should do. I should do this. Should do this. Just shut the fuck up. You don't know. And just hold your tongue. We don't need any of this extra noise right now. Let Darko, Scotty, and the rest of them figure this out. That's what we got to do right now. And overreacting, having so many takes about the whole season already is stupid. And the wisdom of Wayne's trainer is one that people should be trying to duplicate in their own lives. Seriously. MJ saying this, at Raptors Champs, Bobo is more into designing clothes and make lots of money off that passion. Also, Coach Bud allegedly benched him after a huge fight, Phoenix versus Houston. He was disengaged and didn't go help his teammates. Mike Malone also said he lacks discipline and commitment. Yeah, it could be that he just doesn't get in the door because we have standards here in Toronto as far as the kind of players we allow to be on our roster. So I don't know. I mean, that's not good. He wants to go and design clothes. Well, maybe he should call Kevin Willis. Yeah, maybe he should call Kevin Willis. That's right. He could go work with him. That's right. Superfan Mo saying this, W stream, W vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Free Crew, strong forever. Just keeping me limited in the comments. I appreciate producer Mo. Give me the comment. Y'all try and respect that. I am in about 5 minutes away from 2 hours, and I would like to get out of here on time. Seymour saying Taco Fall just stayed on the net on defense. Don't even come up the court on offense. No, we can't do that in this NBA. I'm sorry. You can't do this. None of this cherry picking one side of the court kind of player. Nah, and Taco Fall, he's probably even further out of the league than Hassan Whiteside. So come on now, guys. Come on. We could do better than this. There's got to be a guy that we can pinpoint and figure this out, Bobby, if we are going to get an extra big, if Yak's going to be out. Seriously, we can figure this out. Raptors Champs is saying, yes, the fight he didn't participate in, he kept shooting layups. I don't see why you bench him for that. Talking about Bobo and Phoenix. Okay. Blackhawk is checked in. I see Blackhawk there. Wayne saying, I will pass on the quiz. Okay. Oh, you don't want to pick between Scotty being on a 1 or 5? You're passing on that? Okay. Most saying, I believe I will be in the 905 chat with you more, Lex. Can't wait. Awesome. Yeah. When 905 games are happening, Blake Murphy is usually there, which is really cool. Being able to talk to Blake, and I'm usually in there too. And sometimes we see Fuckface, he who shall not be named, in there too, but not as often. But we're regularly there. And I got to know Blake pretty good last year, just talking to him in the chat during 905 games. So, yeah, hopefully you'll be in there more, Mo. That's awesome. Because, honestly, the 905 is a good team, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. Lacey James and Jarkel Joyner and the rest of them. That's right. Bidiako and Reese. And, of course, our guys Chucky and Elijah and AJ Lawson of Brampton. That's right. Brampton. That's right. Smooth saying, I don't watch Pensair. Correction, I did watch a few of his streams 2 years back, and his constant trashing of Fred and Pascal wore on me. It bordered on hatred. Yeah, I mean, in some ways you can see his energy is negative. It's like he's a miserable fuck. And in some ways it manifests through his show. And I hate that. I'm like, you know, you want to feel positive energy. You want to get like, you know, I'm trying to encourage Raptors fans to be optimistic and look towards the sunny side of things. And in some ways, there's other people that'll be out there that'll be Debbie Downers, and they'll just be like, well, this is happening instead of this. I'm like, fuck all that, man. We're underdogs sometimes. We're a team that is the only Canadian team in the league, and we should have positive vibes because we need to build positive vibes to overcome the things we have to face. And I'm sick of negative vibes being emanated from content creators that absolutely are not helping any kind of way. And in some ways, they only do what they do out of their own ego. They don't have a reason for it like I do. My reason is I love this team and I want them to get more Larry O'Briens. That's the only damn reason why I do this channel. I don't do it for subscriptions. I don't do it for making money. I don't do it for clout. I don't do it to try and be famous. If I wanted to be more famous, I could push this channel way more and promote myself like Robert, and I probably could get way more subscriptions than him. But I barely ever put myself out there, and people find me. That's how I get my people. And I amassed over 1,000 subscriptions without promoting my channel, without fucking being in the algorithm. People found me and they said, this guy has a passion for the Raptors. And in some ways, I identify with him because I love that team too. That's the only reason why I do this channel. I don't give a shit about clickbait. I'm not going to make any fucking content one morning just to get you to click on it because it's provocative or bullshit. All kinds of other people are going to do that in Raptors content makers. I ain't stupid to that shit. My reasons are pure for doing this channel. It's because I love the Toronto Raptors. I always have since the very beginning. And now I'm at an age where YouTube exists and I have the ability to do what I do right now. And, you know, the other people can have different reasons. Robert probably cares about how much money he makes on his channel. I don't give a shit about how much money I make. I make some money on this channel, but I don't give a shit about how much money I make on this channel. I'm not trying to optimize how much money I make on this channel. And I'm not trying to optimize getting more subscriptions either. And that's why it's like, if somebody comes in here and they piss me off, I will throw them out because I don't necessarily need a single subscription. I don't need these people on my channel. No, I don't. Yeah. Let's see. His ongoing obsession with Scotty Barnes freaks me out. I mean, I love Scotty too. In some ways, I understand Scotty way better than Robert ever will. And that's partly because I'm from Florida and I grew up in the state of Florida, just like Scott did. I went to Florida State, just like Scott did. I'm a Seminole, just like Scott is. And in some ways, I'll understand Scotty way more than him. In fact, I spent 500 hours with Scotty on Twitch while he played video games and talked to him directly. And he knows who the Raptor Freak is. And he respects my knowledge. In fact, in the early streams on Twitch, when he was on all the time, he's like, man, Raptor Freak, you know so much about the Raptors. He said that on the channel. People that were there remember it. Fiercey, Amit the Goat, Isaac, Tom Duke. Everybody was there back then. And in Scotty's Twitch stream, could see just how much Scotty was like, wow, Raptors Freak. He would ask me questions about what was going on with the team. He'd say, Raptors Freak, what's going on with this? When's this happening? It's like, oh, yeah, you have a game on this time or something like that. I would be telling Scott shit like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Either way, his obsession with Scotty is unhealthy probably. I mean, I love Scott and I promote him. I've got his bobblehead behind me. I got his Funko behind me. I've met him. I think he's a fantastic young man. I think he's a great franchise player for our team. I'm fully behind him, but I'm also tough on him. In the last couple days, I've said, Scott, you need to rededicate yourself to rebounding and get out there and get your rebounding totals back up because they're slacking right now. And you need to do better stuff on defense too. You need to do better stuff on defense. That's right. Reg is saying, and he was big on the BI trade, according to some. Now he wants him traded. Yeah, whatever this bullshit is. In some ways, the whole mentality he has is like, who's in the way of Scotty? Because I only care about Scotty. That's always been his fucking bullshit. Who on this team seems like they're taking away from Scotty? Fred is? Okay, Fred, fuck you. It's Dennis now. Oh, Dennis, get out of here, Dennis Schroeder. That's the whole action that's going on here right now. Kaloy's here. Morning, everyone. Been sick lately. I'm trusting our boys in Darko. There you go. Let's go, Kaloy. Let's get that win tonight. Let's change this losing streak into a W at home. Give the fans something nice. Let's make it very scary for the Rockets tonight, Count Floyd. Ooh, scary. Ooh, very scary in the Scotiabank Arena tonight. Ooh, Ghosts and Ghouls. Ooh, Count Floyd. Joe Flaherty, rest in peace. Ooh, SCTV. Ooh, Canadian. Straight goods on Canadian goods. Why not? Since I'm talking about a great Canadian name, Joe Flaherty of the Second City Television. Rusty Kettle Chips. That's right. That sounds crazy. Rusty's Kettle Chips. They're a small batch chip company based here in Ontario. They're 100% Canadian made. If you want some snacking chips, some kettle chips, get Rusty's Kettle Chips. They're potato chips made 100% here in Canada. Don't get no Frito-Lays. None of this Doritos bullshit. Fuck that shit. Go get Covered Bridge or get Rusty's Kettle Chips. Those are the best two Canadian potato chip brands around. So go on and get your Rusty's Kettle Chips. That's who I'm talking about today. Straight goods on Canadian goods. Support Canadian economy. Buy Canadian goods. That's right. Let's go. All right, let's see. Reg is saying this. He who shall not be named reminds me of when I was 17 with the Houston Rockets. Thankfully, I grew out of that. That's funny, man. You said now I can watch them as a fan and disconnect when I need to. I mean, seriously, this doesn't make you more of a fan if you live and die with them emotionally. Listen, I'm an alcoholic. I used to drink, and I haven't had a drop in almost 15 years. It'll be 15 years in the next 2 weeks. I'll have my 15-year anniversary of sobriety since 2010. Now, you can ask my ex-wife, who divorced me partly because of my drinking problem, that when we were in the Chris Bosh era and we were losing a lot, how Lex was riding and dying emotionally with the Raptors. I had to learn some tough lessons because on games where the Raptors lost, I was absolutely miserable to be around. And not only that, I was drunk and I was acting a fool and I was just miserable, depressed, alcoholic that went up and down with my drinking. And my ex-wife didn't appreciate that. She really cared about the Raptors winning because she knew if they lost, I was going to be a total shit show. I can't let the team control my life to that extent where I'm hurting my marriage and I get divorced because of it. Because in some ways that did happen. And there's a tough life lesson in that, young people. With riding and dying emotionally so strongly connected to Raptors outcomes. You cannot control whether the Raptors are going to win or not. And you putting so much power into their outcome on how you feel in your life, that's your own damn fault. You have to keep this shit separated. You have to stop getting mad at things you cannot control. It's a serenity prayer. In my alcoholism, in my sobriety, I know You can only control what you do and you say. You can't control the team. You can't control Bobby Webster. You can't control Scotty. You can't control Darko. So just control yourself. And well, when the Raptors lose, control yourself and how you react to it. Because ultimately, that's the only thing in this life that you can control is what you say and do. You can't control other people. You try and do that, you're going to be miserable. And that's the whole problem with the immaturity around Raptors fan nation that gets so bent out of shape about riding or dying with them and the lows and the highs. Stop doing that. A certain chance, you got to disconnect yourself and just allow yourself to be independent in your emotions than what they're doing. That's the mature thing to do, is to say, you know what? They lost. I can't do anything about that. I can't change it. So why am I going to make my life 10 times worse by spiraling out into a depression or an anger rage that be abusive towards people around me that is not helpful in any kind of way? That's it. Some of it's just maturity. And in some ways, some people are being immature when the Raptors are losing because they're getting out of pocket with their feelings and overreacting. And that's the sad thing. It's like y'all are sheep. You can't control your own damn emotions. Bruce Lee and martial artists would laugh at you. If you lose the control of your emotions, you've already lost the fight. You have to stay strong and stoic and able to roll with things and have a detached view. I've likened it to, once again, the way that you watch the Raptors could be like you're a father and you have a child, or your mother and you have a child and they participate in sports. You got Fiercey and Fiercey Jr. In some ways, Fiercey can't control what Fiercey Jr. is going to do on the basketball court. She can be supportive and loving in victory and in loss. And in some ways, that's the way you should be. Unconditionally supportive towards your child. Well, be unconditionally supportive to the Raptors is what I'm saying, people. Because does it help if you're abusive towards your child after they lose a basketball game? No. You're actually just being a dick. And you may be doing serious damage to that child because you're being abusive towards them because they didn't win. That's fucked up. Think about it this way. In some ways, the Raptors are not your child, but they are somebody that in some ways you have to watch and hope and they are successful and get behind them and root for them like a parent would be supportive to their child, like Fiercey is towards Junior. But detach yourself also. If Fiercey Jr. loses, Fiercey can't be like, I'm so mad at you. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're not eating dinner tonight. You know, who the fuck would do that to their kid? So why do Raptors fans act that way towards their team when they fail? If you're going to be that abusive parent that's abusive to the kid, I don't want you to be in my fan nation with me with the Raptors. If you're going to be this abusive, cynical, oh, you fucked up. Now you're going to get the verbal belt from me, Raptors. I mean, seriously, what is that kind of relationship? Seriously, love your team, help them, root for them, nurture them. Being that kind of way doesn't help anybody. Seriously, it doesn't help anybody. Not anybody at all. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Seymour saying, hope you get better. It's Kaloy. Thank you, Sheriff. Raptors Champs is saying, they do what they do out their own ego. Facts. Lex, I recently found you in Real Recognize Real, and I wasn't wrong. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, man. You know, this channel is a Raptors channel, but it's a life channel too. And I 50 years of life, and I've failed all over the place in my life. I'm not necessarily a successful person in most people's eyes, but I am inwardly in my journey, in myself. I've defeated so many demons in my own life to be here. And in some ways, that's part of the perspective I have to share on this channel, is not just the basketball knowledge of 40 years plus of loving the NBA since the mid 80s, but also the knowledge I've gotten from the pain, the heartache, and the failures of my own life. And in some ways, that stuff has helped me be knowledgeable in some ways. It's like, that's why this channel is not necessarily just about the Raptors and how much they can be better, but also how we can all live better lives. And if there's little pits that people pick up from me, I've done my job. If there's just like one little thing I said, maybe Tyler heard today, and he's like, man, you know what? He's right. Robert is full of shit with how negative he is. Why can't he be a little bit more positive? You know, if anything, Raptors Freak family, like Raptors Champs, has helped change the narrative around the Raptors media. Have y'all noticed that on Sportsnet and TSN, the broadcasters are not snarky and snide with their little comments about the team anymore when they're losing? There used to be times where I'd see Brad Fay giggle and say some stupid ass shit going to the break on our game when we're losing. It's like, well, the Raptors are not going to do it. No, because fans like us are demanding the respect. And we've told the media companies and the people that do content for the Raptors that we want respect for our team from our broadcasters. So a lot of the writers like Lewinberg, Grange, Doug Smith, all the people on TV like Sherman Hamilton, Danielle Michaud, Kate Burness, Michael Grange, they have to respect the Raptors more because Raptors fans are holding respect for the franchise and the team as the culture. And before we didn't have this, our media teams would dump on our own team in the middle of our broadcast. And in some ways, I felt like that was insulting. And in some ways, we've stood up, and now they're way more respectful. If you pay attention to this and watching the broadcasts of the Raptors evolve over 30 years, you will see that our broadcasters watch what they say about our team, and they're not snarky little making little jabs like Danielle Michaud was making 4 or 5 years ago. No, she knows that not to do that. And part of it is entities like the Raptor Freak family that demand a positive, respectful stance towards our team, that we're not a joke. We're not a place that people need to look down and spit on and say, oh, you suck, Raptors. No, Masai built us up, and we are exactly who we are today, partly because of Ujiri, partly because of Casey, partly because of Kyle, partly because of DeMar DeRozan, Kawhi Leonard, sure, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Nick Nurse, sure. They all put respect on our name, and the fans carry that mantle to this day and say, respect our name, media. Because if they don't, we turn off the TV. We let them know. Yeah, you'll find out from Raptors fans. We'll come at you on social media. Oh, yeah, we will. Oh, yeah, we will. Kaloy saying this, podcasting leads to clout. That's why. He's a clout chaser. I just can't get into his content. His content is passable when it aligns with the good of the Raptors, but it's mostly with just Scotty. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I haven't watched him. You know, Shev was another guy that I really respected and liked a lot, but I've heard that he's gone weird. In some ways, he's not as present on YouTube because of his battles with the platform. But yeah, NBA Shev, somebody that I've had a lot of respect for over the years, but at times I've heard he's gone really weird with some of his content too. So I mean, respect NBA Shev if you're still real with the Raptors. Seriously. Fiercely saying this, Kaloy, get well soon. I like that. And Kaloy saying exactly, Lex, this is what I come here for, Lex. We need more people like you creating content. It's not just the basketball. It's not just the life skills. And I will get into politics too. And in some ways, that's dangerous in these times. And some people are like, nah, Lex, you shouldn't be talking politics. You should be just talking basketball. Stick to what you know. I know politics too. And in some ways, it's important for me, especially with the way things are changing so quickly with right-wing authoritarianism, like movements going on around the world, that we stay informed and we let people know. You know, they're doing crazy shit with data down there. They're taking people's cell phone data from the protests, and they're going to identify people that were at the protests. Now, what does that lead to? An increase in ICE agents, an increase in prisons? Are they going to start throwing people in just for disagreeing with Donald Trump? Well, we need to be informed about this, and we need to be on top of things. So as the people, we can fight back against tyranny. Yeah, these are important issues these days. It's a lot more than just basketball these days that needs to be talked about. A lot more. So the ESPN power rankings that come out this morning, and the Raptors are 22nd. We did not move anywhere. In some ways, this is fair right now. Now, the great thing is we're right above the Celtics. They've dropped the Celtics from 15th in the power rankings to 23rd. So, yeah, that's good. We're above the Celtics. The Jazz, the Pacers have dropped dramatically to 25. The Kings, the Suns, the Wizards, and the Pelicans and the Nets are the teams below us. Just above us in the power rankings is the Dallas Mavericks, who we just saw, Portland Trailblazers, Atlanta Hawks, who we beat. Charlotte Hornets are at 18. What the fuck is the Hornets doing at 18? That's crazy. Orlando Magic, 17. 16, Memphis. That's crazy, too. Memphis should not be up there. Miami at 15, Detroit at 14. The biggest jumpers were Milwaukee jumped up big from their good start to 8th spot. But yeah, the power rankings are out right now. The Raptors are 22nd. I could be mad at it, but the way we're performing right now, it's fair where we are right now. We need to move up, though. We need to move up. All right, let's see what Raptors Reddit is saying right now. Talking Raptors is on there. Okay, I see there's our guy Kenyon with William Liu and Coach Roach. Okay, good. That's a good get right there. Somebody's saying RJ has been our best player. RJ has been our best player. Yikes. Yeah, I get that. In some ways, somebody else should be our best player, but RJ is our best player right now. Somebody's asking, what are the chances of us trading to get Larry Markkinen? That's an interesting idea. I don't know if he fits the problem that we have right now to fix it. So I don't know if that's the right thing, man. So yeah, there's a post about Darko on here. I'm not going to even read it because it looks stupid as fuck. Yeah, there's a lot of idiots on here, man. A lot of idiots on Reddit. All right, I'm gonna move on. Let's see. Is there anything on Blue Skies that I need to point out? I don't think so. Oh, good. There's somebody that's posted. National Guard members are saying, "I won't turn on against my neighbors." So a lot of the federal troops that are being deployed by Trump are not going to do anything for him, and the police are saying they're going to help protect the people. And the National Guards are saying we're not going to do anything to the people either because we're not under a king. And if we're coming out there, we're not going to do anything to people because Trump keeps making overtures that he wants to turn the U.S. military on its own people. In fact, he said it in Japan in the last 2 days to U.S. military. But I think U.S. military are like, yeah, right. We're not going to do anything that you want us to. You're not going to get the effect that you wanted. And hopefully that's true. There may be some idiots that get into it, but they need to be punished at the end. Yeah, South Korea, they're out there in the streets supporting the U.S. and the No Kings protests. They know how to do it over there. Trust me. They know how to do it. All right, let's do a birthday. And we have a birthday today for a current player on the team. Happy 24th birthday to Jonathan Mobo. Jonathan is 24 today, guys, out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Of course, we love number 2, Scotty's friend, Jonathan. He is 24 today, and he got his first career triple-double last year against the Hornets. That was a fantastic moment for J-Mo. So happy birthday to Jonathan, guys. Let's get a win tonight against Houston for our guy J-Mo, guys. That's what I want to see right there. Boom goes the dynamite. All right, let's see. Our poll is pretty good here. It seems like 52% say they prefer Scotty playing at the 5 over the 1. Yeah, that's that. I'd rather him be a close 2. The point guard idea is interesting against this team tonight, but that's about it. Let's see. Seymour saying, man, salute you, broski. To be sober is my goal. Alcaberta has turned me out. Listen, man, I'm always here for help. Seriously, I do help sponsor a couple different people right now. And if anybody really needs help with this department, I am somebody who can help people get sober. I'm not saying you have a problem, Seymour. I'm not going to judge you anyway. But if you ever wanted me as a resource, you got my number. I can try and help you out. I know you've called me late at night. Sometimes I haven't answered, but that's probably because I'm just like not talking to anybody at that point for the evening. I'm probably asleep. But I can be there for you if you need that, man. Yeah, you need to slow it down to the point that I can stop. Well, I can give you techniques. I know how to help to do this. I can tell you how you can do this and be very successful. So if you want, you can talk about it this afternoon, and I can see if I can help you maybe get some new strategies that can help you at least slow down. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you need to quit, but I will help you if you want me to. I'm never, ever go and say to somebody, you have a problem, you need help. In some ways, I wait for the person to decide they have the problem, and then I'm there for them if they feel like they do. Yeah, Fiercely saying, no Bester today. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Go Jays go. Let's go Raptors and handle the Rockets like the rocket candles. Crush them. Okay. Rockets candies. Oh, they're candies. All right, ending the poll. Position 5 is the winner for the poll today. Oh, I guess I got to do the classic card. Don't get out of here without doing the classic card, Lex. That's right. Trevor will be calling you out for it. All right, I'm just grabbing the first card. Wow, this is the card? This is weird. All right, here we go. Get the full name answer fast, guys. Here it is. Classic card of the day is classic, although it's a newer card, but it's a classic player. Interesting. It's very interesting. You should know who this is. Yeah, there you go. Isaac's got it. You wrote it all in one name, but it is the kid named Jason, the coach of the Mavericks on the coaching the Mavericks jersey. Yeah, Jason Kidd, Hall of Famer, great point guard. Isaac Campbell is 50 points. 50 points. He got in there before anybody. He really was fast fingers there. Fast fingers there. He wrote it in so fast. It was like immediately written in. It was very impressive, Isaac. All right, let's see. Isaac Campbell, 50 points for the Jason Kidd classic card of the day. Let me do the rundown real quick. Ottawa represent. There you go, Ottawa. All right, guys, the game tonight, the Raptors have Jakob as doubtful due to his back. So I'm guessing Sandro Mamu will jump into the starting lineup tonight. That's what I'd like them to do. I know y'all have been different on this, but I think we need to have Mamu out there to start. And then on the other side, Dorian Finney-Smith is out and Fred VanVleet is out. So that's basically the injuries for the Rockets, who are 1-2. They got their only win against the Nets. So in some ways, there are some signs that maybe the Rockets are susceptible and we can beat them. The referees for our game tonight, Mark Davis is the crew chief. He favors the Rockets statistically. Nick Bookert is the referee. He favors the Raptors statistically. And Claude Mula is making his NBA referee debut in a regular season game. No games ever refereed. He's going to make his first referee game as a non-staff official tonight. So there's 0-0 percentages, absolutely even with the third ref, Mula. My keys to the victory to win the game: rededicate yourselves to defense. Find your identity again. In some ways, we may need to really bug them and transition. If they're going to be bringing big guys across the court, bringing the ball up, let's get some steals, Shed. Let's come after them, Jacoby. That's what we want to see, trapping and steals, and get them to cause turnovers. And let's run in transition. Let's just run. How about we run a big, huge team of the Rockets off the court by just using energy and speed and tiring them the hell out? Big guys don't necessarily like to run. There's a lot of mass in them, and they don't want to run up and down the court. The Raptors should fully be going all out and playing all out speed-wise and trying to steal the ball-wise. And let's see some two-man game. If y'all can get your offense going off of two-man sets with Scotty and Brandon, RJ and Brandon, IQ and Scotty, I don't care what the combination is. Let's try and get some two-man sets on one half of the court and let those other guys either crash the boards, stay back to guard just in case they get going, or get a corner three guy in the corner there. Let's set this up, Darko. We need a better outcome from the players on defensive energy, and we need the coach and the staff to direct them to winning ways. I need to see some stuff so that I can protect y'all and talk you up tomorrow on the stream with a victory, is what I'm saying right now. All right, yeah, let's win. Yeah, let's make them uncomfortable. That's right. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Make Reed Shepherd very uncomfortable tonight. Make Josh Okogie very uncomfortable. Make Amen Thompson very uncomfortable. This is the kind of stuff we need to do. Make ball handlers on the other side uncomfortable. And don't let Sengun be like a mini Jokic. That's another thing we need to do. That's right. We can beat them in three-point shooting. That's fantastic. If we can get close or even beat them on rebounding, that could be a huge key to the win tonight. That's right. That's right. Mischief saying this: Jakob Poeltl needs to lay flat on the floor to fix his back. It works for me. There you go. There you go. Lay back on the floor, on the floor, Yak. Lay on the floor, and let's have some women walk all over you like Tony Atlas. That's right. Lay on your stomach, and let's let some masseuse lady walk around on your back, and maybe the crick, and get that vertebrae in the right alignment. And everything will be better then. Hopefully. We'll see. Kaloy said, yeah, I want to see last year's defense. The starting five need to adapt that defense. I know. Where's our identity, Raptors? Get back to your defensive identity. And it comes from people like Scotty, Shed, and Jacoby, and people like that. Get your defensive identity back, Oshai Abaji. You be a leader on that too. That's what I want to see. Get your defensive ability back. And RJ, Brandon, Emmanuel, continue to find more of your defensive identities out there. Colin Murray Boyles, come out and be a badass again, please. Please, we need you again tonight. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Dead M 2099 saying Scotty should be guarding KD all night. Maybe. I think that Scotty should guard Sengun, and I think that the natural matchup is Brandon on KD because they have the same body type. And they're similar. And I'll bet you Brandon Ingram has had to guard Kevin Durant a lot in his career already. So there's probably a certain amount of knowledge already known. Brandon knows about Durant. So I feel like that's the natural matchup that I would gravitate towards because Brandon's going to have to guard somebody. And I think that Durant would be a good one. It's not like Durant's burning it up with speed or anything. Brandon could probably shadow him pretty good And as long as he keeps his arms up, his arms are just as long as Kevin's. So some of the stuff that Kevin Durant can do to people, it can't be done to Brandon because Brandon's similar to him. I don't know. I think Scotty's going to have to use his beef and his muscle against people like Sengun or Jabari Smith. That's what I think. Maybe Sandro will take Sengun. It really depends on whether they start Adams or Okogie. If they start Okogie, they're going small. That'll be good because then Emmanuel can play Okogie, and then RJ will probably play Thompson. And if we're thinking about the matchups, so Yak's out, Sandro comes in, and hopefully he plays their biggest big. I don't know if he plays Sengun. Maybe he does because Sandro on the down low played against Sengun at Eurobasket this summer. And Turkey and Georgia was actually a pretty good matchup. I think Turkey ended up winning that one, though. Did they actually play each other? I'm trying to remember. I think Turkey did play Georgia at one point. Either way, Sandro's got time against Alperin, so maybe he is a good matchup on him. I don't know. Either way, I'd say Scotty should probably be on either Alperin Sengun or Jabari Smith Jr. is what I'd say more. Kevin's going to be outside. We know that. And in some ways, we need Scott in the low post defense underneath in position to get rebounds and also to use his muscle around the lane. We need him down there, especially with Yak out, is what I say. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Blue Jays. Win the game tonight, Blue Jays. The pivotal game 5 in LA. And then you'll be in the driver's seat for the last 3 games and a best of 3 with home field advantage. And that'll be so awesome. That'll be so awesome because that means we just play here in Toronto and you just have to win one more. So go ahead and get the game tonight. And if Raptors can win tonight too, that's fantastic. Let's beat the Rockets and let's cut the talk around Raptors fan nation that's just so toxic and unnecessary. Stand by your team. Don't overreact so early. This is only 4 games in the season, Raptors Nation. And in some ways, let's show maturity through this and say, you know what? This is a long season. We just started it. And I trust our team's going to figure it out and we're going to work it out. That's right. That's right. Kaloy saying, Raptors fans, please enjoy the Blue Jays right now and let the Raptors figure it out. Exactly. They're a good distraction. In some ways, I'm glad the Blue Jays are in the World Series right now because it is kind of taking some of the heat off of what's going on with us. That's for sure, Kaloy. Say hi to Santino. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday. Get out there and touch grass. Raptorize your day like Nat Bhatia. And I'll be back tomorrow to react to the game tonight. Hopefully a Raptors win over the Houston Rockets. Let's go, Raptors. Get down to the arena early, guys. Get your Sour Patch Kids shirt and also cheer the team right. And if you got a cool costume, I want to see you on TV so I can see what you got. Yeah, Isaac's got Mo on blast. I love it. There's the starting 5 of Mo. Let's go to the game, Monique Lawrence, and get that W for us tonight. Let's go.